How much time?
You got 7 minutes till on air, and the stream just started, so.
How's the video coming across?
We have video. There is a glare, though, so.
The sun's right in our eyes. We don't have any other way around it.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah. And he'll tilt it down to the field, and it'll shade it some, but Branson's actually going to film for us today for free.
Okay. We got sound and audio. With y'all talking normally, audio is good. Can I get a test where, like, again, Brian, you're welcome one, welcome all, like something where you're speaking louder than you normally are?
If somebody goes loud, it'll be tied because he's doing play-by-play, so I'll let him do that test.
Okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let me wait for the audio to catch up, and I'll let you know. Hey, Brian, turn tie down just a little bit, like a notch.
Hey, keep texting us if it gets bad, okay? Please.
I will. You have 2 minutes till intro. One minute till intro. 30 till intro. Starting intro now. Thirty till go.
National anthem. We're gonna have to hold. Sorry.
Okay. Is the anthem over?
No, ma'am, I'm halfway through.
Okay.
I think 30 would probably be good.
Okay.
much time before go?
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everyone, to the Wool Bowl here in Roswell, New Mexico. Tyford along with Coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Roswell High Coyotes. Both teams sitting at 2-0, Coach, and coming off some big wins. Of course, Roswell High shut out Santa Fe last week, 50-0. Hobbs Eagles come from behind victory, 69-48 over Artesia, a total of 117 points in that ballgame on the Watson Stadium scoreboard.
You know, that was an offensive juggernaut for both teams, but it shows you the firepower that these Eagles have. And causing 4 turnovers, that's actually a pretty good defensive effort as far as the turnovers are concerned. They're just going to have to keep the yardage down.
Well, the Hobbs Eagles have scored 115 yards or 115 points in 2 ball games, and just shy of 70 points against their opponent, the Artesia Bulldogs. But they were down in a hole early, 13-0, due to a couple of turnovers.
You know, and that's something that I was really happy with the response that we had, because I said it early in the game, we had a choice to get mad and come back and fight or roll over, and those kids chose to come back and fight. I thought that was so impressive.
Eagles are actually down 21-13 at the end of the first quarter, so they came back a little bit there, getting towards the end of that opening quarter. Doubled on Artesia in the second, 28-14. Eagles had a 41-35 lead, but they were up by a couple of touchdowns prior to halftime, but had an interception, and then Artesia scored after that one, and they got another touchdown too. So nail-biting time for Hobbs Eagle fans.
It was an absolute roller coaster. You know, 1 minute the momentum is one way, and Artesia's kicking our booty, and it looks like they're in control. When all of a sudden it flips, we flip the scoreboard, we go up by 3 touchdowns. And then all of a sudden, Artesia roars back. It was like being on a roller coaster at Disney World, and you're just trying to hope that you just don't let the stuff come up.
Hobbs outscored Artesia 28-13 in the second half, but so many turnovers for Artesia, 7 total. Eagles are picking off passes left and right. In fact, a couple of guys getting involved in that. Hector Armendariz had 2 himself. Jordan Chisholm also 1. So 3 INTs, 4 fumble recoveries, and that's not a really typical Artesia squad out there doing that.
No, it isn't, you know. And it's going to be a little bit different today. You're going to see a Roswell squad that doesn't throw the ball as much as Artesia. They do keep it on the ground, a lot of misdirection, but we cause fumbles too. And the game that I watched was the Lovington game that Roswell played against them, and Roswell had some turnover problems in that game.
Hobbs defense also, Kenyon Singleton, the senior linebacker, 15 tackles, 9 of which were solo, so he had a yeoman's job out there. Also Nathan Ciceras, 7 tackles, 6 of those for solo, so those guys don't need a lot of help sometimes.
No, and you want your linebackers making the tackles. If your linebackers are making the play instead of your safety, that's a good thing. If you're seeing your safeties make the tackles, that means you're getting some yardage on you.
Coach, one kid you've been praising before even the first game started, Jeremiah Hawkes. What a breakout pass reception game for him. 7 catches, 171 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's got some breakaway speed.
He does, and it just adds another weapon to the juggernaut of our offense. And, you know, who do you guard? You try to guard him. You got Caden Trevino on the opposite side.
Yeah.
You try to take away both of them, and all of a sudden you got the run game with both the quarterback Argot and the running back Baeza. It's just a double-edged sword.
I know Caden was kind of disappointed. He had bigger numbers against Clovis to start the season. He had that big kickoff return for a touchdown. But this game against Artesia, 3 catches for 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was just happy to get in the end zone offensively without the special teams help.
Anytime you can get in there and dance, you're going to spike that ball and feel good, that's for sure.
Of course, Omar Argot, the quarterback, 15 of 22 for 253 yards in the air. Coach, 68% of his pass completions. And he's a pretty versatile quarterback, through 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he can move around with the ball too.
Yeah, I tell you what, this kid is the real deal. He is a multifaceted, multi-tool player, and the kids really rally behind him. You know, that you can tell. That offensive line wants to break up or make holes for him. They want to break up that pass rush, and it's nice to see a team that really wants to play for their quarterback and see him as a leader.
And in the running game, a 1-2 punch, Omar himself got 143 yards on 19 carries, 7.5 a pop, a touchdown, but also Diego Baeza, 18 carries, 148. 3 touchdowns and 8.2 yards a pop. I mean, those two guys combined, 200 plus of the 347 on the ground. 347 rushing yards for a team that was going to pass more, I thought, this season. It seems like they're getting some ground game going.
But they got the passing going, too. They
right.
threw all the touchdown passes. It's a team that can do whatever it needs at any moment to score. and that's what you want your offense to be. It can morph into whatever it needs to be. And I've always loved that about Coach Stevens' offenses, is that he doesn't just center on one thing. He does a lot of different things, and they do them well.
And just over 600 yards of total offense in that ball game. But again, pretty much neutralizing the Artesia offense in that ball game, but also turnovers really a difference. We mentioned that already. Hobbs had enough turnovers on their own, Coach, 4 of those.
Yeah, and that's something we have to clean up. You can't have 4 turnovers and expect to win every game. Luckily our defense was causing turnovers, and it was just the nature of that game. But certainly something you don't want to see happen continuously over the course of the season.
Eagles' opponents tonight, the Roswell Coyotes. They're 2-0. Last year they lost in the first round of the playoffs to their arch rival Goddard. That knocked them out, so they weren't too happy after that contest. But this year, 2-0 with a 119-point scoring, 29 for their opponents, so they're definitely blowing out their opponents. They did beat Lovington. You mentioned that a few minutes ago, 69-29, a 40-point Mercy Rule win there. Last week, 50-0. So, again, 119-29, pretty big domination. The Lovington game, Roswell with 547 yards, 323 for Lovington. And against Santa Fe, it was only 355 yards total, but that game was shut down pretty early in the third quarter.
Yeah, Roswell's going to bring a lot of misdirection at you, and they're going to do a lot of sweeps on the outside. They got a big old running back, and they're going to fake the sweep, and they're going to hand it on a counter coming underneath. They're going to go a lot of back and forth. You don't know which direction the ball's coming out. Our defenders are going to have to stay home. If you get greedy and you start chasing things, that ball's going to go out the other way, and they're going to get some yards on you.
Now, you mentioned the rushing game. Bryce Sanchez, the kid you were talking about, 11 carries, 119 yards in that contest, so he's definitely a guy they got to be careful about. This Fuentes kid, Manny Fuentes, the quarterback, he had 12 completions, 164 yards, so they're not big dominant numbers to a team they beat 50-0. Wasn't spectacular, but again, with limited clock, that's kind of an issue. The receiver Hobbs got to be careful on with the secondary on the D is Jordan Weathersby, 6 catches for 74.
And he's got a bit of speed, too. He's a little one of those tall guys, and he gets off the line real well. What I did see Lovington do that kind of disrupted him, they brought a guy up and they jammed him at the line. He had a hard time getting off. And I kind of talked to a few of the players at the school about what the plans were, and they said, our plans are to hit him in the mouth, Coach. They want to make this a physical game, and they want to take it right to Roswell High.
And Lovington did get some highlights in that game. They lost by 40 to start the season against Roswell. They had a 35-yard touchdown pass, another 28-yard run, a 28-yard pass, fumble recovery, 32-yard pass, 60-yard run, blocked a punt in the end zone for a touchdown. So Lovington was doing some damage, but they got in a hole early, and it was hard to come back, trailing 28-15 at the first quarter, and it was 49-22 at half.
And it was turnovers that did them in. They had a lot of untimely turnovers deep in their own territory, and were just unable to recover from it.
So that's the 2-0 Roswell Coyotes. Teams played last year. Eagles very low and close game, 14-0 Watson Stadium. Right in our feels like at home, Watson Stadium, usually the sunrise for the first few quarters of the game, but it looks like it might be dropping quicker with the month starting to fade away from summer. Of course, Labor Day weekend, great way to start it with high school football.
It is, and we're trying to get the best camera angle we can into the sun. We apologize. We can't do much better for the sun glare is, but within 10 minutes that glare will be gone. You'll get a nice view of the game.
Quick run on the overall stats this season for the Hobbs Eagles. Got leading rusher with 195 yards, 7 yards. Baeza coming in second at 174. So those are the only two guys above 100-plus mark. Eagles have rushed for 518 yards so far, a 6.4 average, and 9 rushing touchdowns. In the receiving core, 7 touchdowns. So 9 rushing, 7 passing touchdowns. And forget that last week, I almost jumped the gun there. 2-0. Still ranked 7th in the Max Preps poll. You think they're getting their due respect?
Of course not. That's very typical for us not to be ranked where we should be. But over the course of the season, it kind of fixes itself. You eventually go to the playoffs, and that's where all the marbles are decided anyway. Somebody's got to divvy it up.
Leading tackler for Hobbs defense, Kenyon Singleton with 24. McPherson, the junior, he has 13 tackles. So those are the two guys in double digits up to this point in time. Eagles with a total of 5 tackles for loss in the contest as well. As they're getting both teams out here, Roswell are going to wear their red home uniforms with the white numbers and white pants. The Eagles, the white uniforms, black helmets, and those lemon numbers that we love so well up in the booth, right, Coach?
Yeah, hey, these are much better to see than last year's, though.
Yeah, that is true.
They are outlined better. This is much better to see.
So it's going to be a little bit of a sun situation for us. Hopefully we'll get those numbers for you. It looks like definitely Roswell's numbers sticking out well. Roswell will be kicking off, and by the way, we will have a new kicker, at least for this game, because of an injury. Of course, Ethan Van Landingham is out. We'll talk about that in a minute. Roswell going to go with a little squib kick. Bounces to the 25 right hash. Picked up across the 30-yard line, far sideline 35. And that's where the Eagles will start from the 33-yard line to get this game going.
Yeah, that's actually going to be pretty good field position. And on the return there, Manuel Murillo, cornerback, number 28, he's the one that carried the ball back there.
So Hobbs will get it at the Eagles checking their armbands now as they get set up on the right hash in front of the grandstand part of the stadium here. We're on the visitor side of this game. Twins right, 2 receivers left as well. Shotgun for Argot. Turns and throws the screen comeback route to the 32-yard line and runs to the far sideline. Going to be a couple of yard gain, maybe 4 on the play. And, boy, we're going to have a lot of trouble seeing those players on that far sideline. Didn't realize it's so far away on this visitor side.
Yeah, we don't have the best of angles on it. That's the problem. That was Caden Trevino on that catch right there.
So Trevino gets the first catch. They're going to mark it at the 37-yard line, so that will be a 7-yarder for Trevino to get the passing game started for the Hobbs Eagles. 2nd down and 3. Argot going to take the shotgun. He's back at his 32. Whistle stops the action here.
Yeah, one of the Roswell players decided to jump off sides. This one's going to be 5 freebies.
Yeah, they can't afford to let the Eagles get those cheap yards like that. And umpire was starting to walk the wrong way with the football towards the Eagles. And, they are marking off against Hobbs, so false start.
I mean, he's blowing his whistle trying to tell him it's the other way.
Yep, now he's going to, he started to go towards the Hobbs Eagles and started back and then went back again. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the red and white. And
left, right. He did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Of course, Coach Lynn will not be a happy camper. Has some Lee County ties as well. First down for the Eagles now at their own 42. Just opening here in the first quarter at the Wool Bowl. Lights are already coming on. We don't need any more lights with the sun right in our face. I just blocked the sun. I can see a little bit better. I learned my lesson, I guess. Put my hand up in front of my face here. Those of you watching on YouTube luckily can't see us here in the booth. Shotgun to Argot, Twins left, right, fakes a handoff. He's going to throw it down the middle on the seam, wide open at the 40. Catch made at the 35-30 and drugged down to the 29-yard line. That will be a first down pickup.
That's Caden Trevino on the pitch and catch right there. He had a nice little seam. The defender that was on him fell down right before the ball got there. The other safety on the opposite side was able to make the play. Good yardage for the Eagles.
33 yards on that catch. 2 completions for 40 total for Argot. Both to Trevino. Twins left and right, another first down for the Eagles at the Roswell 31. Shotgun, Twins right and left, single setback. Turns and fires to the right flat to Jaquez to the 30. Bounces into a defender and drilled back hard as he'll barely maybe get back to line of scrimmage if he's lucky on that one.
Yeah, I think he got about a yard out there. They spotted it about the 29.
So Jaquez has his first catch. Eagles still 3 for 3 now for a total of 41 yards. 2nd down and 9 from the Roswell 29 on the right hash. Hobbs going right to left on the radio dial as they get set back up in their Twins look formation on both sides. Again, Argot in the backfield. 2-step drop, rolls the ball in his hands, fires it on the high fade route to the left corner of the end zone, just barely overthrows his intended receiver, who had a couple of steps across from his cornerback that was trailing him by a few yards that time. Really beat Eli Lynn, the coach's son there, and almost had a chance for an over-the-shoulder catch.
And I was trying to get the number. I thought that was Cicero's number 5, but then it kind of looks like a 9. I can't quite see it.
Yeah, we'll have that trouble all game long, and see if we can catch that here real quick. Yeah, it is number 9 for the Eagles.
That's Ethan Van Landingham.
And he wasn't supposed to play in this game. He has a hand injury, and I was expecting him not to be playing wide receiver, especially. We said there was going to be a sub for the kicking chores, but he's out there at that receiver position, and he's looking back at the sideline along with his teammates to get a recall here. Hobbs now 3 for 4 in the passing game. At the Roswell 29, still on the right hash, shotgun to Argot, fakes the handout, throws it down the middle of the post route, diving attempt to the 15. The receiver intended for the Eagles, wanting a pass interference, but is not going to get it. That was Trevino, as it looked like he got chopped from behind, trying to reach out for it.
They basically landed on his legs before the ball got there, and Trevino went down. Should have been a pass interference call.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 now at the 29. Two incomplete passes in a row for Hobbs.
And they're putting 7 men in the box, Roswell is. So that's why we're passing every time, because we got single coverage everywhere else.
Eagles going to add another receiver left. So trips left, single receiver right. Argot in the backfield with Baeza, ready for that shotgun. Back at the 35, fakes the handoff, one-step drop, fires down the far sideline, and leaping in the air over the goal line, catch it as he falls backward on his butt for the touchdown.
Ethan Van Landingham, injured hand and all, just went up and said, "This is my ball." He snagged it and basically just mossed him at the goal line.
Yeah, 29-yard reception for the touchdown, and you can better believe he's got some adrenaline working on that hand right now as the Eagles score. And I've been told he wasn't going to play by more than one source.
Well, he's not kicking. Here comes Chacon.
Yep, that's a soccer player out there as getting his first action in this ball game. So coach wasn't lying to me about that part. He's being subbed for a kicker, but not the wide receiver spot as I was expecting. Of course, going to be a little bit harder to catch. He racked his hand up on a helmet in the last game, and he did play hurt throughout that contest. So the new kicker steps up and boots it right through for a goal. I had to do it, Coach.
OU. Wow.
Now, OU plays tomorrow. 7-0 your score, 10-17 left here in the first quarter. Eagles on the board first, 7-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. $30. $15. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. It's Hobbs 7, Roswell nothing. Here's the voice of the Hobbs Eagles, Ty Friend.
Getting ready for that kickoff for the Hobbs Eagles. Of course, we mentioned brand new kicker getting his first PAT of the season. As he gets it from the 40 and boots it down on the ground, takes a roll, scooped up. No, it's a ricochet. It might not have been touched. It goes in the back of the end zone, and I looked like it got off the hand of the Roswell player. He put his hand down to kind of swat at it and instead didn't come up with anything. That was Germ Morial, and he's lucky. If he would have touched that, the Eagles might have had a chance to recover that near the goal line.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, kicking it into the end zone is something we like to see. I mean, that's the 20-yard line is one of the least favorable positions we've given up on the kicking game this season.
So Hobbs will have a defensive play here at the 20 on the automatic touchback as we're ready for the first snap for the Roswell squad, who's 2-0 on the season just like the Eagles. Middle of the football field at the 20. Go Twins left and right. Shotgun to Fuentes, the quarterback. Two-step drop. Wants to throw the quick out route to the 22-yard line. Going to be maybe a 2-yard pickup on the forward progress. Quick wrap-up for the Eagles cornerback.
Yeah, that was Nathan Caceres there on the tackle, and he got there quickly. He almost had a pick six. He was trying to come around to get it, but as he came around, he realized the ball was just a little quicker, and he just wrapped him up.
That's Peyton Kennard getting his first catch of the game.
And Roswell, of course, lining up in that pistol with that back in the shotgun right behind the quarterback.
So Fuentes 1 for 1 in the passing game. I actually got to give him more yards on that one. That's actually 3 on the catch. Second down and 7 from the 24. The handoff, angle left. And a lot of scrummage going on at the line of scrimmage, and everybody fumbling to the ground there on top of each other. Not much of a gain on that if he got back to the line of scrimmage. I think Fuentes might have kept it that time.
And actually, Zayden McPherson on the tackle there. That was the big running back 22 for Roswell that did the carry there. That was
Bryce Sanchez.
Yeah.
So Sanchez is going to pick up another 3 or 4 on that play.
And I was really impressed with McPherson standing him up because that's one big boy.
Eagles have 4 on the front line for the D. Twins left or right, make a trip slap. Back to pass. Fuentes is going to roll right, sliding to the 20. Throws it on the sidearm towards the sideline. Hobbs Eagle near side right. It goes off the hands of the intended receiver. Incomplete off Josh's. But right here is the Eagles going to run that hurry-up offense, not giving us enough time to get to break here. Hobbs up 7-0. Our got to Van Landingham. Got us on the scoreboard first. First and 10 from the 40 on the right hash. Roswell with 4 in the front box. Defensively leave a little gap in the middle. Hobbs will send 2 receivers left and right. Man in motion is Trevino. Fake handoff. They're going to give it up to the tail, back up the gut, dragging people with him and backpedaling for a few extra yards down to the 44-yard line.
Saul Armandatis on the carry there.
See, we're going to mark this. Looks like they're going to give him 4 on that one. His first carry, the first rush of the ball game for the Eagles. Second down now and 6 at the Eagles' 44. Clock down to 8:30 left here in the first. Hobbs up 7-0. Eagles will send 3 receivers left, one to the right side as Argot talks to his front lineman for a minute and backs out for the shotgun. Sun's starting to go behind the stadium seats there. That'll be nice. Shotgun bounces off the helmet of Argot, throws it in the left flat, and it goes in front of his receiver. I don't think Argot got the follow-through he wanted on that one. The ball was knocked away on the near side by Caden George, the cornerback, and that could have been a ricochet look. Looked like Trevino was in the area, and maybe possibly Hawkes too, but regardless, it is incomplete. Eagles now 3 of 6 for 70 yards in the air game.
Yeah, and that was just one of those, he didn't quite have it in his hand. He had to push it out there, and it was just hard to catch. 3rd
down and 7 from the 44 of the Eagles. They all look to the sideline for a change for Coach Stevens. As looking at his left wristband now is Argot as he backs into the backfield. Twins right and a couple receivers left. Fake the handoff, 1-step drop. He's going to fire it down the fade route, far right sideline, and overthrows his intended receiver. That was Hawkes. He had got between 2 defenders in red jerseys that time. Had a little bit of a split between them, but the ball was a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, and if that ball would have been on target, Hawkes probably would have been murdered. I mean, they could have closed in on him there. I think that was probably one of the best things that could happen is just falling incomplete.
So Hobbs now facing a 4th down and 6, it appears, at the 44-yard line. And they got a punter ready to go here. We'll see if they're going to really punt this one away or not. I think you want to be safe with this and not give a chance for the football to Roswell if you don't make a first down off a fake. We'll wait to see what happens here. Long delay on the snap count. They bring a man in motion from left to right. So now we got nobody on the receiving corps left. They will punt the ball away from the 35-yard line. A high one, end over end with some reverse going the wrong way. Now it's going to take a bounce for the Eagles as it rolls down to about the 28-yard line. Eagles will stop it dead on the far left sideline in front of the Roswell bench.
Yeah, that wasn't the prettiest punt in the world. It luckily took a good roll for us after it hit the ground.
I believe that was Van Landingham back there punting that football. He's coming off the field again, so thought they had got him out of there for that, but it's going to be Roswell football for the second time now. This one going to be at the 28-yard line. They trail Hobbs 7-0.
Maybe since we've got one of the soccer players playing, maybe we can find a goalie and do some punting too.
Yeah, true. Roswell football as they get up the line of scrimmage. Pair of receivers left, really close to the line of scrimmage. One to the right side. Shotgun to Fuentes. Fakes a handoff, throws this quick screen on the right side behind the line of scrimmage, trying to drag 3 or 4 defenders with him. He makes the catch, but he's going to meet a wall of black and gold on that play. And that is the reception made for the Coyotes, pulled down by Josh Estrada.
I think on that one it'd probably be easier to list who didn't tackle them because there was a bunch of white jerseys that just surrounded them and they just took him down.
They're going to say no gain on the play, although it was complete. 2 for 3 is Fuentes for 3 yards, and a 2nd down and 10 now from the 27.5-yard line. Receiver left, a slot left as well. Pair of receivers the right side. They're going to pull out of their play call and get it reset here for the Roswell offense. Shotgun Fuentes. Handoff up the gut. This is a dive right in the gap, and the Eagles going to get hard as a wall there at the line of scrimmage to make the play. They're going to be lucky to get anything on that one as well.
I think that's the big boy Sanchez.
Yep, that is Sanchez that came through. And a couple linebackers pushing through for the Hobbs Eagles. And the first one on the location who leads the team in tackles this season, Kenyon Singleton in there first, but only a 2-yard gain on the play.
That makes it about a 3rd and 8 situation. Great time to blitz. The Roswell line's not good at picking it up. Get some pressure on the quarterback before he can get it out.
Roswell has it at their own 30-yard line, the right hash. 3rd down and 8. As they'll send 1 receiver left. 3 on the right side, very close to the line of scrimmage, the short side in front of the Eagles. Fake the pitch right, rolling left. Fuentes going to try to throw it. It's batted in the backfield. Big hand swat coming down on top of it and slaps it towards the 10-yard line. Hits the turf. No chance to pick it off. But what a beautiful read that time on the pass, and that's a deadly one for Roswell's offense.
And that was a smart play by C.J. Romero, number 3. He was the safety. He had walked up, and he realized he had no one to cover, nowhere to go. He just all of a sudden turned it into a blitz, and that blitz turned into a nice blocked pass.
Yeah, volleyball spike that time for him. The Eagles had to get a player to run off the field before getting a penalty on too many men. Rolling on the snap for the punt. And nice drill of the punt, though. It's a fair catch at the 36-yard line. A dangerous one on the left hash towards the Hobbs Eagle bench that time, but the catch is made near the turf.
And once again, we'll have pretty decent field position.
And the man that came up with that catch for Hobbs was Hector Armendariz. And Eagles again at the 35.5-yard line. They lead 7-0 here with 6:24 left in the first quarter. Of course, Eagles have Lovington next week on the road. Lovington trying to get their first win of the season. They have Santa Teresa for homecoming on their blue turf tonight. So we'll keep updated on that score. Of course, they lost to this Roswell team to start the season by 40 points. First and 10 for the Eagles at their own 35.5-yard line, left side hash. Twins left and right for Argot. Takes his time on the count, turns and fires the comeback to the 35. Catch is made, far sideline. Hawkes to the 40, breaks the tackle and drags a few on his back and getting real close to the first down, maybe about 8.5 on that one.
And that's a good job of getting north and south. He found the only seam he could, got north and south, and then dragged the defenders as far as he could.
There's going to be 7 on the play that time. Eagles are 4 of 8 in the passing game, so Argot 50% now. And a total of 77 yards. Second down and 2 from the 43-yard line on the right hash. Argot going to back out looking at that armband. Make it trips left, receiver right. Shotgun snap, one-step drop, pump fake. He's going to throw it down the middle. Might have been deflected as the ball drops quickly about across the 50. He had a post route coming down the middle of the field. That was Trevino that was waiting for it. Actually, no, Ethan Van Landingham was the intended receiver, but the ball went down quickly as it might have had a ricochet at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they were just able to get up there and get a paw on it, and it brings up a third and short situation. This is one that we really need to convert, keep that ball moving.
Sun is behind the horizon now. We get some pink skies near the mountain. And Hobbs now with a third down and about 2.5 from their own 43-yard line, leading by 7. Before in the box for Roswell. Trips left, receiver right again. Two-step drop for Argot. Looking left. He's going to fire down the middle. Post route. Caught it to 35 and down to the 30-yard line for a first down.
That's Van Landingham, and that's a nice little play where we act like we're going to bubble. Van Landingham acts like he's going to block and then turns up and goes up the seam wide open.
That's a 28-yarder, just one shy of the first catch he had for 29. He's got 2 catches for 57 yards. And now 5 of 10 is Argot to his 3 receivers, Hawkes, Trevino, and Van Landingham. That'll be the third first down for Hobbs. Knocking at the door at the 30 from the left hash. 7-0 lead. Fake the handoff, back to pass, throws the curl route, caught at the 20 and a leaper and down to the 15, close to it for the Eagles. That should be about a 15-yard play for the Hobbs offense.
Caden Trevino on the catch on that outside, and he went up and got it. And that's one thing he does so well. He leaves his feet and somehow comes down with the ball.
That'll be for Trevino, his third catch for 55 yards, 4th first down, and now Argot 6 of 11 in the passing game. Make it 7 of 11, or 7 of 12. Trips left, receiver right. Clock down to 5 minutes left, opening quarter. Eagles trying to add on another score, leading 7-zip. Trips left and a single receiver right, shotgun. Waiting on the line to make the catch, Trevino at the 20. He's going to try to spin and go up the middle and dives down to the 17-yard line as he's just trying to get away from pressure in the backfield.
You know, you had the guy in front of him beat. Problem is he chose to go back toward the middle, and that's where all the defense was, and didn't get very far.
Yeah, it doesn't
if anywhere.
Yeah, it looks like going to keep him with no gain on the play, so nothing for Trevino on that one. That was his 4th catch, though. Hobbs looking back on the sideline for the play call. Linemen are just ready to go, looking straight ahead. The special hands unit, running back, 4 receivers all looking at the side to get that coach call there. 4:15 and ticking here in the first. Twins left and right for the Eagles offense. As Argot taking his time. Now a timeout as Coach Stevens and the staff just kind of seeing what the Roswell defense was going to give him and decides he wants to change up the play call.
Well, he was at 4 on the play clock, so he had to take the timeout.
We're going to take our first break. 4:09 left, first quarter. Your Eagles 7 and the Roswell Coyotes nothing here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. Back in 30 seconds.
Very clear. $15. $5. $3, $2, $1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. 4:09 on the clock in the first quarter. Hobbs 7, Roswell nothing. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Well, Coach, again, Eagles knocking at the door, trying to add on to that 7-point lead. What's Coach Stevens telling his offensive troops there to try to get another score?
No, he's probably just coming out there and saying, hey, guys, you got to make your reads. And there's a couple of times where they had only 5 in the box, and they actually brought another safety out. Probably should have ran there instead we threw a bubble. So he's probably talking about numbers and making reads.
2nd down and 10 from the 17-yard line of the Coyotes. Eagle football. Trips to make it Twins left and right. Shotgun. Argot 2-step drop. Comes in the pocket. Fires down the middle. Post route. Ricocheting off the chest plate of the Hobbs Eagle receiver that time, and almost made the catch at the goal line between 2 Roswell defenders. And, boy, getting so close that time. And that was Caden Trevino waiting for another 6 to put on his scorecard.
Yeah, problem is there's a hanky on the field. Looks like one of the referees dropped some laundry, and it might mean you have to walk.
Question is whether, that's only a 2nd down. That would burn it down on the incomplete. One less down for the Eagles to work with, but that looks like they might be taking it there. Is that a hold on that play?
Apparently so, but
10 yards going to be knocked off for the Eagles. They'll get the down back.
Yeah, hold was, I guess, at the 25, but they marked it off from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're going to the 20, looks like the 27 now. Hobbs could get a 1st down around the 6-yard line. Twins left and right for the Eagle receiving core, ready for the shotgun for Argot. Takes the snap, stays right where he's at, comeback route to the 26, and try to pull about 3 defenders with them. They just came off their guys, fumbled on the sideline. They're going to say he was already out, so they're not going to let that one go. Roswell getting kind of hungry for the football to get back that time, and not much on the play there. That's going to be the reception for
Evan Ortega.
Yeah, Evan Ortega, as he looks like they're going to give him anything on that one. I don't think they did.
Yeah, probably come backwards, if anything.
So that will be a completion. No gain on the play. Hobbs now 9 of 14 in the passing department. Now a 3rd down situation. Again, they got to get to the 6-yard line, currently at the 28, so they got to get 22 yards. Twins right and left for the Eagles. Argot in the backfield, wait for the shotgun as a man in motion left to right. That's Ortega. Now trips right. Stays in the pocket, 2-step. He's got a pressure behind him, gets away from it. There's going to be a hold in the backfield. Breaks the tackle near side, 20, 15, 10. Hurdles over a man, lost the football, and that's going to be a bad situation because Roswell's going to get it in the end zone. Tried to run it out of there, but the penalty's got to get just declined because I think it's going to be a hold on the Eagles in the backfield. But
they need to call that a safety because he did try to return it there.
Well, you don't have to. You can take the touchback.
Yeah, but he didn't go down for the touchback.
You don't have to in high school football. I think he's good on that one.
That must be some of those federation rules.
Oh, NFHS. But we got to go back to this penalty back at the 35. It was a long delay there for Argot to unload the football. He got a good pocket there, but somebody, I think, hooked from behind. And we already saw the flag drop, and then trying to run down the sideline at about the 10, he tried to hurdle somebody and got crunched. The ball came sailing out of his hands and rolled into the end zone. And they're having a big discussion right now, all 5 officials. So we're going to see here. Holding is being signaled against the Eagles. Decline penalty, and that should be an automatic touchback. Wait for the official call on this. Yep, it's going to be automatic touchback.
Yeah.
So that will be a penalty, will not be affixed against the Eagles. So it will be at the 20-yard line for Roswell. So Hobbs could not get their 2nd score of the game with 3:42 left here in the first. They lead 7-0. Again, they scored earlier in this first quarter on a 29-yard pass to Van Landingham. But Roswell gets a nice shot on Argot coming up the near sideline and unfortunately coughs up the football for the Eagles' first turnover of the ball game. And that will be at the 20-yard line now.
Eagle defense has been really tight on Roswell, keeping them from, I think at this point, even getting a 1st down.
Roswell has it at their own 20. Twins left. No receivers right as Fuentes, the quarterback. Wait for the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff, roll right. Now zig and zag back to the left. Tries to spin and is brought down in the backfield. That will be a drop for a loss on the first play from scrimmage.
Cameron Hernandez there getting into the backfield and getting that sack there on the quarterback.
And that looks like they're going to drop it by about, 8 yards, -8 for Fuentes. As he was just trying to get away from the pressure. That's his first carry, if you call it a carry, more of a rush there, -8. Only 5, or make it -3 yards total in rushing offense, 5 yards for Sanchez and -8 for Fuentes. 2nd down and 18 now for the Coyotes at their own 13-yard line. One receiver right, got a pitch left, coming around the end, heading to the far sideline, 15, down to the 20. And there's a flag at the 22-yard line, middle of the field, so maybe a legal block here on Roswell. This might be coming back. Eagles are applauding on the defensive side, so good signal there.
Yeah, the big man from Roswell High, offensive lineman number 74, that's Rico Lujan. ended up kind of holding somebody and wrapping them up in a bear hug, and can't do that.
So wait to see what they got the signal for here. Did Hobbs decline that? Oh, no, it goes back to the 20. Did they mark that off already? It's back at the left hash, so.
Looks like we declined it. It's third down.
So third down, and that was they picked up 8 on that carry to try to get back some of those penalty yards. So it's now a third down and 10 on that one. Looks like that'll go with the lone setback is the QB, Fuentes, by himself. Wait for the snap, trips right, 2 receivers left, 3-step drop at the 15. He's going to roll right, dumps the ball into the 24 on a sidewinder, trying to spin and get up the field. The receiver makes the catch. That is Jordan Weathersby, his first catch of the game.
And the great job by the defensive backs up there coming down and breaking down, and they couldn't get past us. Isaiah Jackson, one of the first ones to get there.
Weathersby with his first reception for 5 yards, as Roswell now 3 of 5 in the passing game, have it at the 25 of the Eagles. They got a 4th down and 5, though, so quite a bit of distance to go this far back on their side of the field.
I don't think that they'd try to fake it here, but they're itching for one.
They do fake it, a high fake snap, and then they just pitch it out right and try to get to the 30 on the near side, but going to be close. Boy, talk about getting right where you want to be. Maybe a little bit shy. We'll have to wait and see. They're marking it on the 30. That is going to be a first down for Sanchez, so he gets the 5 he needs. I think he got a direct snap, actually, and they try to make it look like a high one over the top of the head.
And here's the thing that bothers me. Before the referee spotted, he was walking straight up. He looked back to see where the markers were, and then he took a step to the right and then re-spotted the ball. He actually checked before he went back to his spot.
Yeah, we got Coach Stevens with his hands up in the air right now with the white cap.
Oh, yeah, and they signaled it without measurement or anything. That was just horrendous.
First down for Roswell at the right hash, 30-yard line in their side of the field. Shotgun to Fuentes, 2-step drop on the shot. He's going to take it himself, tucks it, 30, heads to the far left, back to the 28, to the 30 again, and high steps it out of bounds. He got lucky to get anything on that play and maybe got 1, maybe 2 yards.
And I tell you what, that was all athleticism right there from Isaiah Jackson. He actually took a bad angle on the inside. He had a little block that kind of put him in, and he had to chase him from inside out. And usually that's when they cut up field and get lots of yardage. Jackson had so much speed, he was able to close him out and get him out of bounds.
Got about a half a yard. 2nd down and 9 from the 30. Fake the handoff left. Heading right is Fuentes. Sees a man coming at him and bulldogs it right to the turf. It was a helmet on the gut of Fuentes as he headed to the right sideline on the right hash.
Hector Armendariz with the kill shot right there, man. That was absolutely beautiful. He read that play, saw him come out, and from that safety position, Armendariz just hightailed it and just drilled the quarterback. He's going to feel that in the morning.
Now, worst part was he got forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, but no gain on the play. But it drilled him back about 4 or 5 yards. But the quarterback had already got momentum across the line of scrimmage. But his gut has a big helmet mark on it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a tattoo on his chest he didn't have before.
3 carries for -7 now for Fuentes. Trips right, 2 receivers left. 3rd down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Shotgun by himself, Fuentes, and we got whistles before the snap. The back judge official way back at the 50 throws the flag for delay of game. Another 5-yard penalty. Coach Lynn's going to be ripping some of that hair out.
Yep, absolutely. Now, when they go to that empty set, when they bring all 5 receivers out, it should be an automatic blitz call for one of the linebackers because you don't need linebackers hanging out in the middle, especially with them having to get 10 yards. And it looked like Hobbs was bringing the heat right up the middle.
Coach, what's wrong with the Roswell flow so far, would you say? Is it just good defensive play by the Eagles?
I think it's good defensive play by the Eagles. I mean, so far, everything they've done, we've been where we're supposed to be. The only play that we didn't was the last one where the quarterback scrambled, but Isaiah Jackson was such a good athlete that it just didn't happen.
Fuentes going to line up by himself again in the backfield. He's got pair of receivers left, trips right. Hobbs 4 in the box defensively, little gap in the middle. 2-step drop out of the shotgun. Scampering left. He wants to throw. His arm is ripped out from behind. It falls forward. We're going to see if they're going to say his arm was in motion. Wait for the official signal. Eagles recover it. Still waiting for official signal. They're pointing for the Eagles.
They're pointing for the Eagles. First down.
I think the man that recovered it for Hobbs didn't see who got the arm, but DeAndre Haynes, the defensive lineman senior, the big 6-foot, 200-pound defensive lineman, is the one who scooped that up on the ground as the arm was ripped back from behind.
And I hate to say this, the person that made the hit was number 90, and he's not on the roster.
Regardless, so a great play.
I think it may be Boston Hatfield. I think that he's the one that wore 90 last time, but we didn't get those changes this time.
So a fumble recovery for the Eagles will have it the Roswell 34-yard line on the left hash with 33 seconds left. First quarter, Hobbs up 7-0. Twins left, receiver right, handoff on the angle left, and meeting a wall for the Roswell Coyotes. Flags are starting to fly on almost every play now. The Eagles going to get probably a legal block on that one as they handed the football for the Eagles to Saul Armendariz with his first carry of the ball game, second carry, I should say, but I think this might come back a little bit.
I think it's time that we do a little bit of misdirection. We haven't really pulled much this game, and Roswell High didn't handle that very well when Lovington did it.
Looks like they're talking the Roswell squad right now. This is going to come back as they get a holding penalty, 10-yarder. That's the first or second penalty on the Eagles, 20 yards total. That'll back it up into Hobbs territory at the 37-yard line. Clock down to 27 seconds left. Eagles got to get to the 23.
And they've got 7 in the box right there.
Actually, they're in Roswell territory still at the 43, so about a 20-yard need on this one. Handoff up the middle. Bouncing off defenders, breaking a tackle, 20, 35, 30, and down to the 29-yard line.
It is hard to find Diego Baeza when he starts to hit that seam. He just disappears in there, and he comes out with the ball running.
That's 13 for Baeza. And that's his first carry of the ball game. Eagles have only 2 carries for 17 total, and that will be the fifth first down. That will end the first quarter of play. Hobbs holding on to a 7-0 lead over Roswell. They're trying to get some more points on the board. We'll come back in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, Cool 95.7, and also on the internet on the YouTube Hobbs Sports page.
You're clear. You said 60, Ty?
Yeah, please.
Just making sure. Can you text it?
Repeat.
Nothing. You're good. $30. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. Second quarter action. Hobbs 7, Roswell nothing. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Eagles 2nd and 6 from the Roswell 30. Here's a fade route to the left corner of the end zone and getting a hand on it, but off the fingertips. That would have been a touchdown, but incomplete. Getting some double coverage back there for the Eagles, and a good attempt. Ethan Van Landingham again with that hurt hand. He's out there, has a glove on it tonight, but boy, he's putting his body on the line for that one.
Yeah, you know what? He absolutely just laid out for it right there. Did the best he could. Ball was just a little bit too far.
Eagles with 9 completions already in this game, just starting the second quarter, leading 7-0. That's a 3rd down and 6 now for Hobbs at the Artesia, or make it Roswell 29. Back to pass, 2-step drop. Big comeback right on the curl to the 24 and diving ahead close to the first down. They need to get about 6, and I think they got maybe 5 or very close to that
I think
marker.
they got about 7. It's all the way down to the 22, and they're already signaling first down.
So Trevino with the catch. That's going to be his 5th of the ball game for 62 yards. That'll be the 6th first down, and now 10 of 16 in the passing game.
Yeah, that double-edged sword, you don't know who's going to get it.
Eagle football, 1st and 10 from the 23 of the Coyotes. Shotgun to Argot, trips left, receivers 2 right. Another pass down the middle of the end zone, bouncing off the fingertips. And Trevino clapping his hands near the back line of the end zone. He had his hands clapped around the football, but I think he felt some pressure from behind and got a little bit nervous out there and just lost it off the ends.
About the time the ball was about to hit his hands, the defender, Jerm Moriel, got his hands like right in his eyes and kind of come across him, and I think it just took his vision away for just a moment.
So 2nd down and 10 now from the 23. Single setback, Twins left, 1 receiver right. Argot gets the shotgun, hands up the middle. Baeza dragging people with him, slides on his stomach up to the 15-yard line. So moving the ball quite a bit there for about half the distance of the first down that he needed. So a 5-yard pickup for Baeza.
It was nice to see the pulling guard on there. I'm trying to get a number for the guard because he did a great job busting the hole open. I think it's number 68. That was Joshua Ray.
Let's give 7 instead to Baeza. He's got 2 carries for 20 yards, 10 a pop. Make it 3rd down and 3 now from the 15-yard line. Again, a shotgun from Argot brings Trevino in motion right to left. Fake the handoff to him. Hand up the middle. Miles right diving towards the 10-yard line. You need to get close to that mark.
Yeah, I think they got the first down. Here comes the signal. Yes, sir.
So that's a 3-yard pickup for Baeza to move the chains for the 7th time in this ball game. 23 on the ground for Baeza as he clears the 7 average on his running game. Hobbs now could get a first down near the goal line if they need it. They're taking some more time looking at the sideline. With 10:58 left in the second, it's 7-0. They got the clock stopped for some reason. I'm not sure what that's all about, but got to get that thing going again. Argot gets about 3 guys to jump for Roswell into the center part of the line of scrimmage. Good hard count there, and that should be a 5-yard penalty against the red and white.
Hey, we'll take a freebie all night long. Anytime you start to really wind somebody down like this, you got a big play coming, and they're thinking they got to fire off the ball. That's a great time to go on, too.
3 penalties, 15 total yards against Roswell. Now at the 6-yard line. Again, Hobbs could get a first down close to the 1, just inside the 1. They'll restart the clock here. Argot will send 2 receivers left and right.
Watch for Trevino across the middle here.
Baez in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Take it up the gut does. Argot angling right. Breaks a tackle with the 2 and into the end zone. He'll score on a 5-yard, close to a 6-yard run on the right side into the end zone for the score. And the Eagles up 13-0.
And, that was because all those runs from Diego Baeza, they thought he was getting the ball. Argot stuck in Baeza's belly. The entire defense went with him, and Argot just went right up the gut.
So Eagles getting 1 score in the first, now 1 in the second. As they'll get the PAT up here.
Here comes Chacon again. I'm ready to hear you say goal again.
Oh, I've already burned that one. As we wait for the snap, Eagles getting themselves set on the line. Good snap. Kick is up, and the kick is inside the right upright. Count it. Second PAT put through for the Eagles. 10:40 left, second quarter. 14-0. Eagles leading as much as they won last year, 14-0. Well, we're going to see if they're going to add some more here. Come back live with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. How long did you need?
1 minute.
Okay. $30. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hobbs Eagles kicking off, leading 14-0, and that will be sent into the end zone by Chacon. Again, the soccer player in form as the kicker tonight, subbing for Ethan Van Landingham, who has played the game as a wide receiver, had a couple plays already offensively, but it's kind of weird he hurt his hand, but yet he's playing receiver, and his foot's, I don't think, hurt, but he's not kicking the football tonight.
Yeah, and I'm loving it. Chacon's is not something he's done a whole lot of. So after the play's over, he didn't know he had to run back out there and get the tee. They had to send him back out to grab it.
He's used to a black and white football, too, and tonight he's wearing black and white helmet and uniform. Roswell football at their own 20. That was a touchback for the Coyotes. Fuentes at quarterback. He's got bunched up receivers right near the left end, and one receiver right. He's going to turn and fire, come back curl to the 25 far sideline, and getting out of bounds in front of the Roswell bench. In front of the grandstands, the catch made for the Coyotes by Manuel Segala. That'll be his first catch of the ball game.
Hobbs' defense just trying to keep everything in front of him right now.
That was the 4th reception on 7 attempts. A total of 16 passing yards for the Coyotes. They're going to go left with it on the run, and coming down hard after the handoff for the Coyotes. As he gets towards the Eagles sideline, near side, Bryce Sanchez on the left, and he gets enough for the first down and then some.
And, one thing that we're doing is when Sanchez does get the ball, we're meeting him with a lot of force. They are really trying to bring the hammer on every tackle.
He got out to the 34, so a 6-yard pickup for Sanchez. He's got 5 carries for 24 yards. That will be the second Roswell first down at their own 32 left hash. Man in motion left to right. They give the handoff around the right end. That's Sebastian Mendoza, heads far side, puts on the brakes, tries to stutter step back, and then continues across the scrimmage to the 36. And he'll pick up another 4 on the game.
And you can tell Roswell's kind of going deeper into their playbook here, running a lot of misdirection and trying to find some way to get yards against this Hobbs defense.
First carry for Mendoza now at the 35, a 2nd down and 6. Go with the tailback handoff up the middle, 40, 45, breaking a tackle, 50. Ball's loose on the far right sideline, bodies flying everywhere. That would have been a gain, a big proportion too. We're going to see who got their recovery on that. That's about an 18-yard pickup. Then the fumble, and looks like the Eagles are jumping for joy off the fumble by Peyton Kennard.
And, that's one of those things. Roswell finally started moving the ball. They got their first down. They were about to get their second first down, and they just put that ball on the turf for us.
18-yard pickup, but it's all for naught as the Eagles get the recovery. Couldn't see who it was on that far sideline from the Roswell bench. That will be the second turnover on fumbles by Roswell.
When you're down 14-0 and that happens, that can take the wind out of your sails.
Eagle football on the left hash. Left to right on the radio dials. They switched ends into the first quarter. They have it on a 1st and 10 from their own 46, leading 14-0 with 9:40 left here in the second. You got a couple of split formation running backs in the backfield. Receiver left and one right. Shotgun to Argot. Delay handoff. He gives it up left across the 50. And right at the mid-strike going down for a 4-yard pickup on that far Roswell left sideline. See where they get the mark. It looks like right at the half stripe there. So that's where they will mark it at the 50. I believe the carrier that time coming out of the backfield was Ethan Van Landingham, as that will be 4 yards on the play for him.
What can he do?
2nd down and 6 now. Back to pass. Argot gets the pressure, bangs into a defender, and did get his arm kind of pulled out from the side. Ball comes short as he tried to unload to the near sideline, and no chance to make a scoop catch on that one, as I think he got part of the bicep knocked in too.
Yeah, he did, and he got a little bit of his arm, and he was just trying to get that ball out of there, and right there, an incomplete pass is no loss of yardage. We'll take it.
And that was Hawkes was the man open on the near sideline. He had to come running back from that right side, but incomplete regardless. It's now going to be a 3rd and 6 from the 50-yard line. Argot back in the backfield with Baez that tries to get a hard count here, and there's some movement on the line. And we got a penalty marker flying. It's going to be a false start on the Eagles. That'll be their 3rd penalty, a total of 25 yards here in the first half.
Yeah, you don't want penalties, that's for sure. Makes it a little bit harder what you're trying to do, and right now it makes it a 3rd and 11.
Mark it at the 46-yard line of the Eagles on the left hash. Clock to 9:04 left, second quarter, 14-0 Hobbs. And Eagles will be on the road next week in Lovington. Not very much of a road trip for Hobbs fans. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Argot in the backfield again, shotgun. Tucks it and goes up the middle. Bounces around a defender to the left side, 45-50, and diving across into Roswell territory at the 49. Gets back some of that penalty yardage plus. That's a 6-yard run for Argot. That's his first carry of the ball game, but that'll bring up a 4th down in Roswell territory. Kind of a question mark here, Coach. Do you want to keep moving it into Roswell territory or try to pin him back with a punt?
2 touchdown lead. Roswell hasn't got but 2 first downs on you. Punt it away.
And that is Van Landingham back there. He had a punt earlier in this game, too. So Coach is not going to let him stay on the sideline for some of the kicking duties, except for the PATs and field goals if they even try one in this game. He's back at the 37 for the Eagles, ready for that kick. Roswell put 4 in the box. They bring a man in motion right to left. And the snap is low, scooped out. They call the flag in the backfield here. I see if the officials, the Whitecap has got the call. They call procedure. It must be a little bit of movement in the backfield, so that'll be another 5-yard penalty. I'm not sure how much that hurts you near midfield. Gives you a little bit more room to keep it high towards deep into Roswell territory on the punt.
Well, I think the man that went in motion turned to the line of scrimmage a little too soon.
So that will be a 5-yard penalty. I think they got Saul Armendariz on that one. He's pointing to his coach. Me? Was that on me? Then he get the discussion there from his sideline coaches. So another chance here for Van Landingham. Eagles got to get to the 45 of Roswell, currently at the 45 of their own. So need to get 10 yards. Long snap count again. This time he'll be in motion one more time, as he was the last time. Armendariz. Low snap again. Van Landingham gets a boot on it. A nice little spiral at the beginning. Caught at the 17. Roll out to the left side of the 20 on the return to the 25. There's a legal block in the back, and the man getting out of bounds with the carry for Roswell was Isaac Loya, but I think we're going to have some handkerchief action against the red and white.
Yeah, he didn't get him completely in the back, but it was one of those plays where the player was unprotected, and you can't just come up and hit somebody who can't see you coming like that.
Well, if that's the case, that's going to be a blindside block. I'm not quite sure they went that far with it, but maybe a block in the back too. Blindside block would be 15 yards, and the block in the back would just be 10. So there's a difference of 5 on those two penalties. Was it the 25 is on the return for Roswell? Officials are having a little conference here and coming up with the decision on this call. Somebody just yelled out, "That's a bunch of baloney." Obviously a Roswell fan.
And that was all the way from the other side of the field. You heard that. That's somebody's got some pipes over there.
That's a block in the back. They get the 10-yarder on that one. So Roswell got a break on that. If it was a blindside again, it would have been 15. Back at the 15-yard line, though. Roswell football to start a new series. 1st and 10 on the left hash. 8:43 left, second quarter. Hobbs still up 14-0. Scored a 29-yard touchdown pass to Van Landingham from Argot first quarter, and a 6-yard run for Argot for rushing TD in the second here. Shotgun. Fuentes going to pitch it right. Angle right to the 15, outside the hash, and try to cut it back for Roswell is Peyton Kennard.
And on that play, the defensive end took an inside route, and once he gets sealed there's nobody that's stringing that play out. They're going to get yardage.
Now, it looks like we've got an injury on top of that. Is going down hard was Malachi Mitchell, the tight end. They're going to give 5 yards on that run for Kennard. He's got 2 carries for 27, and we got official timeout is being helped off the field as both teams head towards their sideline to catch a breather here. The Eagles are on their knees on this near right sideline for the Hobbs bench, and the coach says, you got to get back out there. They're going to get play restarted because the injury was closer to the Roswell sideline, so they got him out quickly.
Yeah. And for a second there, I thought that was the quarterback.
He has a quarterback number 12, but yeah, he was tight end. That's kind of a weird tight end number, too. 2nd and 5 from the 20. Fuentes back in shotgun. Got a receiver left and right. 2-step drop. Fires the out route at the 25-yard line. That's close to the first down.
I don't think he had actually full possession of that as he came down with it. He looked like he was bobbling it, but a bit quick shove out of bounds. They're just going to give it to him.
So catch is made on that far sideline by Manuel Segala.
You see how quickly Jackson closed that out, though?
Yeah, definitely. He got out there quickly. That's going to be a 5-yard pickup, just as much they needed for the first down. They're 5 of 8 in the passing game. This time they'll hand it up the middle, blocking hard, but the Hobbs Eagles are going to meet at the line of scrimmage and form that wall as they pile back the big-time ball carrier, Bryce Sanchez, and see if he even gets a yard on this play.
Yeah, they may give him forward motion to about the 29, but I tell you what, they changed his direction very quickly.
Sanchez picks up 2 on the play, 26 yards on the ground on 6 carries so far, 4-yard pop. 2nd down and 6. They'll put that at the 29-yard line. Actually, they're going to say 3 on the carry for Sanchez. Fuentes waiting for the shotgun with single receiver left. He wants to throw right to the tight end to the 35 and nails it on a little quick out to all the way down to the 41-yard line. A catch and run on that one.
Roswell's offense has been coming alive the last 2 series.
So we're going to go 12 on that one for the first down. 3 first downs for Roswell.
Got some scores from around the region. Santa Teresa 14, Lovington nothing. And Lordsburg over Tatum 28-14.
That was the 4th first down for the Coyotes. Thanks for those scores. 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff around the right end. Sanchez tries to cut back as he heads to the Roswell sideline to the far right. He wasn't able to get back on the turn that he wanted, but he'll pick up another 3 for the Coyotes. Make it 2 now for him.
Yeah, it brings up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards a pop isn't too bad, but they're going to keep getting first downs.
Starting to get some more momentum is the Roswell offense as they're now at the 44-yard line with 6:35 remaining in the second. Eagles up by 14, but Roswell on the move. 2nd down and 7. Fuentes fakes the pitch right, rolls left, backpedaling now. He's got pressure coming, rolls back to the right, fires the out route, waiting for it, a high snag in the air for the 45. That'll be a first down plus. 12 yards, make it 11. The ball might have come loose. We got a big scrub pile. Bodies are rolling, somersaulting. We got 2 groups getting on top of each other. Flags are flying. We might get some personal fouls out of this extracurricular.
I'm not exactly sure if the fumble did occur. We looked excited like we got the ball, and all of a sudden you see the Roswell coaches just screaming and yelling at players trying to pull them off the field.
And go ahead and give 12 on the catch for Manuel Segala. We'll have to wait and see what all the extra fisticuffs going on there. We got unsportsmanlike conduct, the first penalty. That's going to go against Roswell. See what the second one will be.
Ejected. They ejected him from the game.
See what number. I didn't get to see who left the field here. There wasn't another one, huh? Just the first.
Just the one. The Roswell player did it, and they ejected him.
That's a 15-yarder against Roslyn. Boy, the flags two of them were thrown by separate officials. So they must have been watching the same guy that time.
And I can tell you who it is. It's the kid walking by himself down to the end of the end zone.
Yep, got his helmet off. We'll just keep that name silent because we're not 100% sure that's him. But he's kind of making a big parade there and shaking his head and carrying out his helmet like a basket. Hey, that better not be 22, is it? If that's the case.
No, I think 22 is still in the offense. It looks like a 20-something.
Yeah, we'll just let that go as it is. Don't need to plaster that on the internet tonight or the radio for that matter. 15-yard penalty against Roswell. But if that was 22, that's their running back. Definitely can't afford to lose him at this point.
We're not going to tell you who it is, but if that was 22, he's a running back.
Numbers are better than names on that.
No, 22 just broke the huddle.
Okay. Sanchez is who I'm talking about, but now that we know it's not him, we'll go ahead and get his name there.
He was the ball carrier on the last play.
Yeah. So that was a 15-yard penalty, backs it up to the 40. It's going to be a 1st and 10, shotgun. Hand off to Sanchez, as we talked about him. Backpedals for a couple of yards, stumbling into a 3-yard pickup.
I got a dumb coach question for the referee. Now, they got a first down for that, right? And then you mark them back 15 yards. Shouldn't it be like 1st and 25?
Well, that's a dead ball foul, too. Yeah, did they get a first on that one, though? I didn't see.
They got a first down and then marched them back. So either it should have been 3rd down and long, or it should have been 1st and 25.
Yeah, I didn't see the
So
mark
they've
on that
marked
one.
it wrong.
Yeah, you're right, though. It's not an automatic first down regardless. So 2nd down and 7 now for Roswell at their own 43. Long, hard count here for Fuentes. Looks to the sideline to coach on the side there, but Coach Lynn, I guess, is going to put an audible in there. Twins right and a single receiver left with a slot back. Go with the option. It's backward. It's loose on the turf. Near sideline. Picked up by the Eagles. 30, 25, 20. Down to the right sideline to the 17. The Eagles recover another fumble.
And that's what happens when you run one of them little quick pitches like that where you're trying to make that choice whether to keep it or pitch it, and you get popped as you're trying to throw it. Those things kind of happen, and it looked like Cedric Romero was the one that made the hit on that.
Yeah, the strong safety for the Hobbs Eagles. Ball was pitched on the option to the left side behind the running back. You can already tell the angle was a bad chuck out over there, and the Eagles running it with Romero for the fumble. That's the 3rd turnover for Roswell, all 3 on fumbles.
And wasn't it Jordan Chisholm that picked it up?
Yeah, Chisholm, he's always he's going to be a magnet on the football. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 17 of the Coyotes. Fake the handoff. Back to pass. Argot throws the out route. Diving catch at the 10-yard line. About 8 yards on the snag that time for the Eagles.
When you say the word diving catch, the next thing you say is Caden Trevino.
So 8 yards for Trevino, as that's going to be his 6th catch of the ball game for a total of 67 yards. And they're going to give him 8 on that one. That's the 11th reception for Hobbs. They've attempted 19. Knocking at the door again. They can get a first at the 7. Shotgun, Argot going to fire back on the comeback. Catch at the 10-5 and diving to the 1-yard line. Gets the first down and close to a touchdown, but just shy with the knee going down.
I think it's time to bring the big boys in and just plow the road.
That was Hawkes. See, Hawkes going to get, looks like 8 on the play. That's going to be his 3rd catch for 16 yards, the 12th reception for the Eagles. And again, that'll be this 8th first down at about the 1.5, make it the 1-yard line. Handoff, take it up the middle is Argot. I don't think he got anybody's gut on that play as he dives forward across the goal line for the touchdown.
Yeah, he just hit the gap. There was nobody there. Roswell looked like they didn't even get off the line.
So Argot getting his first score of the ball game. First rushing touchdown for the Eagles, a 1-yarder. And Hobbs going to put the lead up to 20-0 here in the Wool Bowl in Roswell. By the way, this is the championship side of the New Mexico Military Institute this past season. Boy, pretty nice wrap-up to the year getting that championship.
It was. And here comes Chacon again to do the kicking duties.
Kind of a high snap. They're going to stop the action as the penalty markers fly, so it must have been some jumping on the line. That's going to be a false start for the Eagles. That will be their 5th penalty of the first half, a total of 35 yards, and 5 penalties for Roswell so far for 40 yards.
He's going to have to show a little bit more leg on this one.
Well, I think soccer players don't matter about that. They like to back up a little bit to get some more leg room and not have to kick some more straight up when you get closer to the goal line. So kick it from about the 15. It'll be a 25-yard / field goal. Ooh, but kind of a low snap that time. Gets a good sidewind kick into it. No, they're going to say it off to the left a little bit. No good on the kick. I thought that looked like it was good, but we're way up here in the visitor side in the press box. 4:11 left, second quarter. Hobbs up now 20-0 over Roswell. We'll come back in 30 seconds on 7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on the internet, YouTube Hobbs Sports page.
You're clear. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. 20-0, your Hobbs Eagles over the Roswell Coyotes. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Well, I made a mistake there just a second ago before the break. That's his second rushing touchdown for Argot. He had a 6-yarder earlier and a 1-yarder. Both of those coming here in the second quarter. So 2 rushing touchdowns for him and the team, and a 29-yard reception for Van Landingham from Argot in the first quarter in the passing game. So Hobbs leading 20-0. The PAT was missed as they'll get ready to kick off another time here in this second quarter. Here comes the kick for Chacon. It's going to be a long one, end over end. It's going to bounce at the 5, takes a Hobbs Eagle roll, stays in play, picked up on the right hash to the 10, heading back to the left side, 15, stumbling ahead to the 16-yard line. Eagles with great coverage to make sure it didn't go any further.
Hector Armendariz was the first one there to get a hand on him, and all he was able to do is basically pull that shoelace and make him trip.
Nathaniel Quintero, the cornerback, the return man for Roswell. Coyotes have yet to score in this ball game, and they've got 4:06 to deal with, down 20-0 here. Both teams at 2-0 coming to this game. Eagles, of course, defeating 2 squads, Clovis, and, of course, last week Artesia. Roswell's victories against Santa Fe last week and Lovington to start the season.
And you know what I really love there is Chacon came off the field after kicking that thing off. He was met by about 10 Hobbs Eagles players. They slapped him on the helmet and lifted him up above. Hey, we really appreciate what you're doing. They're showing him some love, making him a part of this team.
Roswell football at their own 15.5-yard line, left hash. Fuentes at the QB, shotgun, 2-step drop, throws the slant, caught at the 20 to the left sideline as he tries to cut back outside, and that'll be Manuel Segala on the catch. He got sandwiched a minute with a couple Hobbs Eagle defenders on this near right side.
Yeah, it looked like Nathan Cesedas is there as well as number 25, Zayden McPherson. They're both the ones that brought him down.
Segala gets 5, has 3 catches for 22. And actually 21-yard line. That'll be a second down and 4, so they give him 6 on that one. Back up to the line of scrimmage. Receiver left, short side. Bunched up receivers 3 on the right, near the line of scrimmage. A pitch right. Heading to that far sideline again on the Bryce Sanchez sweep to the 25, out to the 30s as he extends to the right hash. And he'll get it up for the first down, plus that's a 9-yard pickup for Sanchez.
Yeah, and they just got that outside guy on roller skates and basically just started driving him. And once they start driving that force guy, basically you have a lot of running room.
9 carries, 41 yards for Sanchez. Hurry up offense now with under 4 minutes remaining here at the 28. High snap over Fuentes' head. Rolls back towards the referee to the 5. Fuentes lost the ball, scoops it up at the 1-yard line, tried to go from right to left, and is brought down at the 1. Great coverage for the Eagles after a poor snap, and that's going to be a loss of about 29 yards.
And that was amazing that the Eagles got him on like that. He almost got away from the first guy. Second guy was able to bring him down. I think that was McPherson as well.
So that's going to be a big hole to dig out of. They're going to actually mark it at the 1-yard line, so minus 28 on the play. No fault of Fuentes, way over the top of his head. He jumped in the air with both hands extended high as he could, but not going to be good enough. So it's going to be at the 2-yard line now. They got to get to the 40. 38 yards is what they're looking at. And we've got a little bit of a delay out there. Not sure what's going on.
I don't know. It looks like they're wasting time on the clock maybe to call a timeout here.
Referees are all spread out and kind of looking around a little bit. Clock is 2:15 and ticking.
Yeah, Roswell doesn't want to give us any time on the clock back. They're running the clock out so that they don't have to give it back to us with time.
And then they call the timeout to avoid the 5-yard penalty, which would be half the distance to the 1, which doesn't hurt as much as it could normally. So we'll take a quick break as well. Hobbs Eagles in the driver's seat here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. 2:12 left, second quarter. Hobbs 20, Roswell nothing. Come back in half a minute on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on the internet, YouTube Hobbs Sports page.
You're clear. Ten. Three, two, one, go.
Back live here at the Wool Bowl. Hobbs Eagles leading 20-0 over Roswell late here in the second. Thanks to our Hobbs Eagle broadcast sponsors this season: Lee County State Bank, TDS Telecom, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway Grocery, First American Bank of Hobbs, Lasco Construction, Eunice Pump and Supply, NMR Pipeline, Rent-A-Center, and Devon Energy. Thanks again for being Hobbs Eagles sponsors and keeping the broadcast free for you from No Mark Broadcasting. It's going to be a 2nd down and 28 for the Roswell Coyotes as they get the ball up the gut and getting out a little bit of pressure to the 10, 8-yard pickup for the Coyotes. It's up the middle that time, and they're going to stop the game for a timeout.
And that was the quarterback running the ball. They didn't give it to Sanchez that time. They end up handing it to the quarterback. That's Manny Fuentes.
Yeah, Fuentes, that's his first or second positive carry of the night for 8 yards. And they'll call the timeout at the 10-yard line. So still a bunch of real estate to make up as they got to get to the 40. So they still got to get 30 yards on a 3rd down situation. And both teams talking about, Coach, I think it would be a great way to end a half if the Eagles can get that ball back. It's going to have to be a punt eventually here. But they've got about 2 minutes left, and Roswell's going to get a couple more plays. But at the same time, they can just keep pushing them back. They get a chance for a punt return to try to get another score.
Yeah, we still have one timeout left, so they can burn probably about a minute of that time off the clock here in the next play.
They haven't changed the down marker. Yeah, there he goes. The minute I said that,
Okay.
He flips that. They got those digital first yard markers down there, and guy finally flipped it to 3rd. So
I'm guessing we'll probably have about 1:15, 1:20 on the clock here to deal with after the punt.
So 3rd down situation for Roswell. Currently at the 10. They got to get to the 40, so 30 yards to make up here on a bad snap. A 28 loss for Roswell. Went back to the 2-yard line, which caused this to go right in the hole for Coach Lynn's Coyotes. Again, they were one game in the playoffs last year, losing to Goddard, and got beat by the Eagles 14-0 in the regular season. Fake the handoff left, go right, coming around the end, putting his head down, and getting met by the Hobbs Eagle wall. I believe it was Peyton Kennard again. It might have been a face mask, Coach.
Yeah, when it comes from where it did, that's usually a face mask call. Flag came from that back judge.
So Kennard, he didn't get much on the carry, maybe about a yard on the forward progress. Make it 2 for Kennard. That's his 3rd carry for 29. See if there's going to be a tack on here. The next question, whether a 5 or 15 if it's a face mask. Hobbs Eagles backing up, so they pretty much are giving up on the fact it's going to help their cause whatsoever. I don't think that was a face mask. The signal didn't look like a face mask from up here, at least.
Mm-hmm.
How many yards they give him on that one? 5? That wasn't 15. That wasn't 15. So a 5-yard penalty.
We're at the 10, and we're now at the 18.
Yeah, but he got some little bit of yards. It looks like it must be a 10-yarder, I guess.
Well, if they did it from the spot, it may have been 5. Who knows?
Yeah, let's go with 5 on that one. They'll bring it to the 17. It'll be a 3rd down. Got to get to the 40. 23 yards they're going to need on this one. Rolling left, Fuentes wants to pass to the left sideline. Throws it back to the middle and gets deflected as it comes down the seam. Receiver was in between about 3 defenders, intended for Sebastian Mendoza. Knocked down. The slot receiver could not come down with it.
And right there, Jordan Chisholm jumps in front of the play, and it hits him right in the hands. And Jordan Chisholm had nothing but real estate. There was no red jerseys between him and that blue-colored end zone.
That's good news for the Hobbs Eagles. Given Roswell a 4th down situation with 1:39 left, second quarter, clock stop. Very perfect opportunity for Eagles to get another score. They're up 20-0. Low snap on the punt, and it'll be kicked away from the 9-yard line. Sails to the 50, takes a big Roswell roll. Ricocheted off a Hobbs Eagle, has to go back to the 38 on the near sideline right, and he gets bodied up hard, flattened to the floor. He was lucky to come up with the recovery on that one as it kind of came low, and he tried to scoop and left it back on the turf there for a minute.
That wasn't the best decision. But you know what that incomplete pass did for us? made us not use a timeout. We still have one to burn.
Good recovery there by Hector Armendariz to keep the ball for the Eagles. They'll have it at their own 38-yard line on the right hash with 1:30 left. They're going left to right on the radio dial of the Eagles. Twins left and right in the receiving core. Argott back in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, steps back 2, fires with the fade to the near right sideline over the shoulder. Caught at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the touchdown. That's going to be a, 62-yard reception for the score.
And that is Jaquez again, and all he did was turn on the afterburners. That rocket went right by the defense up for the Coyotes, and there wasn't nothing stopping him.
That's his 4th catch of the ball game for 78 yards total. Of course, the biggest one there for 62, and he'll get a chance to put some more points on the books for him. On the PAT coming now for Chacon. Missed the last one, but that was wide left, but we'll see what happens this time for the soccer player. In for Van Landingham. Good snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:21 left here in the second. Hobbs extending their lead to 27-0 over the home team, Roswell. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. $30. $10. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. 27-0, your Eagles lead. Here's Ty Friend.
Kickoff for the Eagles from Chacon, back deep, halfway through the end zone, to roll out to the back line on the automatic touchback, and pretty just kind of waving it through was Robert Truex, the return man for Roswell. No chance to return there, and talk about a soccer boot that time.
I tell you what, he adds a dimension to our defense because they're getting the ball at 20 every time. You know, that helps our defense tons instead of giving it to them at the 40 or the 50.
What kind of deals do you have to make with the soccer coach? You get a player to come out for football Friday night, maybe have a game on the weekend too.
Yeah, you know, I don't know about those dynamics, but, you know, I think Hobbs is good about sharing athletes, and I think every program supports each other. That's a beautiful thing.
First down and 10 for the Coyotes, midfield at the 20, as they got a pair of make it trips receivers, one left side for Fuentes. Gives the handoff up the middle, and looks like Roswell just wants to run the clock out as we're getting close to the expiration of the first quarter. Couple-yard gain on the play that time, and that was their go-to guy, Sanchez. As the clock goes to 1:06, just a 1-yard pickup for Sanchez. That's his lowest of the night. His long was 9 earlier in the second quarter.
Yeah, I call this the French Army offense. You know, you're kind of running the white flag up.
Clock down to 55 and ticking. Hobbs up 27-0 here in the second, as Coach Lynn is trying to get his team back in this ball game, but not very urgent at this point. Looks like they might just put up the white flag for the first half to finish it up here. Twins left to receiver right. Fuentes back in the shotgun. He's going to pitch left on the left hash, around the end of the 20, 25, and bounce into a couple more defenders to go down. Stays in bounds. The clock will run, and they're not even trying to get a timeout here. That was, again, Sanchez.
Yeah, they had 2 timeouts left. They had enough time. They could have moved the ball up the field, but I think at this point they just want to regroup.
So that's going to get it to the 25-yard line, a 4-yard pickup for Sanchez. And he's had a total of 11 carries so far, and Roswell just going to start jogging off the field. Clock's down to 5 seconds. That's all she wrote in the first half. The Eagles trying to get their fans fired up here, putting their arms up in the air as they leave the field as well. Up 27-0 over the Roswell Coyotes. A battle of two 2-0 teams. One of them is going to get undefeated by the time it's over. It looks like the Eagles in the driver's seat there. We'll be back in 3 minutes here at halftime. Hobbs Eagles up over Roswell on your Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. 2 minutes. One minute.
One more, please. Did you get that, Tiffany?
Yes. One minute. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. 27-0. Your Eagles are beating the Roswell Coyotes. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Eagles with 4 touchdowns in this ball game. We're up 7-0 in the first quarter. A 29-yard pass for Omar Argot to Ethan Van Landingham, who we didn't think was even going to play tonight, at least especially at the wide receiver position with the messed up hand from last week. But he's definitely got in there and had some plays in this ball game. After that, a couple of touchdowns for Argot, the quarterback, 6-yard run and a 1-yard run. 14-0, and then went to 20-0, although a missed PAT on that second rushing touchdown for the quarterback. And finishing up with a 62-yard pass to Hawkes for that final score for Jeremiah Hawkes, making it 27-0. And so Eagles getting 3 TDs in the second, 1 in the first. Again, getting close to that mercy rule, Coach, and the Eagles definitely, this is their first road trip, so a little bit of a test for them, and they're used to these big stadiums. I was talking to Coach Q earlier tonight, one of the assistant coaches on the secondary core for the Hobbs varsity staff, and he was saying that we were talking about how some teams that come in here and get all intimidated by the big surroundings, but Hobbs plays in a pretty nice field there at Watson.
Oh, absolutely, and we don't have a problem traveling. We travel well. We bring a lot of people with us. It's a real positive thing, and really, the kids are really focused. I see them at school the day of, and they're really focused on a lot of things, and they were really focused on trying to take this game to Roswell, and they've done that well.
Tell you one thing, I'm glad it's cooled off tonight. It was a horrible mess before the game started. We had all that rainy weather the last week, but it seems like maybe the monster's going to move out a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's still humid here, I tell you that. We're still pouring sweat here in this booth.
Better than it was earlier.
Absolutely. We don't have the sun in our eyes. But it is a humid night. There's a lot of flooding here on the Pecos River. A lot of Dexter was underwater, and it was on the news. And as you come in, you come off that Caprock, you can see where the flooding was. You can see that the Pecos River had overflowed its banks quite a bit.
Well, Hobbs all flooding over Roswell here with that 27-0 lead. Let's look at the numbers first for the home team, the Coyotes. Really pretty much the bread and butter of their running game is a Sanchez kid, 11 of 46, coach. Doesn't have a double-digit run yet in the first half of action, but he's pretty consistent. A lot of pitches to the outside. He likes to use his ends to get out to the sidelines and stretch it out a little bit.
Well, when they did direct running and they just did zone blocking, they didn't have anywhere to go. When they started pulling guys, they started getting a few lanes and getting some movement, especially those pitches to the outside and you're pulling double G's, 2 guards. That was one of their best plays. But I tell you what, he has earned every yard he's got because when he gets the ball, a lot of the Eagles are coming and they're ringing the hammer with him.
Peyton Kennard, he's 3 for 29 at a long of 18. Mendoza had 1 carry for 4, and poor Fuentes, the quarterback, had that bad snap over his head, which made him drop 28 behind the line of scrimmage. So he's 5 for minus 27. Of course, it's I always hate having to give that stat to the quarterback on a bad snap, but that's how it goes in the books.
Yeah, it does. Can't blame the center for that, even though it's his fault, right?
Yeah. 20 carries so far for the Roswell Coyotes for 52 yards on the running side, and kind of ironically, unofficially, 52 in the passing game, too. They have connected on 8 passes so far. The biggest numbers so far for Segala. He's got 3 catches for 23, his long of 12. After that, it's Apodaca, 1 catch for 13 yards. Weathersby has been very quiet tonight. He's usually their leader. He had 5 last week against Santa Fe. He's got 1 tonight for 5. Kennard has 1 for 3, and Segala, Segala has, 4 for 31. 4 for 31 I had him put down twice here, so he's going to be the leader in terms of yardage in the first half of action. So in terms of the passing game so far, they've connected 8 times out of 12 attempts for 52 yards, a total of 104 in the total offense there for the Coyotes.
Yep, not a big overwhelming number for sure.
So definitely Hobbs taking care of business defensively. 3 fumbles recovered by the Hobbs Eagle defense, and a lot of that's being caused by penetration and some hard hits out there, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Like I said before, they're bringing the hammer, and, the signature hit of the game was Hector Armendariz coming from the safety position, just absolutely tattooing them behind the line of scrimmage, and that is what the Eagles have been doing all night.
5 first downs for the Coyotes in this first half, 6 penalties for 45 yards. So that's something that they would like to kind of go in the reverse there for Coach Lynn in the second half, and they're going to get back in this ball game. Take a look at the Hobbs Eagle offense. Not a big rushing night so far, although Baeza doing a pretty decent job. 3 carries for 23, a long of 13. After that, it's Argot, though, with 2 touchdowns off rushes, a 6 and a 1-yarder, 2 carries for 7 and the 2 TDs. After that, you got Van Landingham, the carry for 4 yards, and Armendariz 1 for 4. So 4 guys have seen the ball a little bit in the running game, 7 total carries for 38, but they really haven't needed that with over 200 yards passing.
Yeah, they didn't really expect the run game to do anything. They're putting 7 in the box. That means you're getting single coverage on the outside. You're going to pass the ball.
On the passing department, leader right now in terms of yardage is Hawkins after that big 62-yard touchdown snag. 4 catches for 78 yards so far. Also has catches for 8, 7, and 1. So, again, like last week's numbers with those 7 total receptions and 4 touchdowns, he's starting to get back in form for this game now.
Yeah, and you know what? I was just thinking all the time as my years as being a defensive play caller, I'm sitting here thinking, what do I want to take away? Because obviously they're doing the check with me plays and they're reading the number of people in the box, deciding what they're going to do. But it doesn't work no matter what you choose. You bring them in the box, take away the run, we're passing well. You take them out of the box and they just run it right up the gut at you. What would you do, Ty?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And remember last week, unbelievable rushing numbers against the Artesia Bulldogs, 347 yards in that game. Of course, 143 for Argot and 148 for Baeza.
Right now, they've just made it very difficult to game plan against the Hobbs Eagles.
So let's take a look at the passing game here. Hawkins, again, we mentioned 4 for 78. Trevino has more catches, just shy of 8 yards behind Hawkins, 6 for 70. But he's had 2 big ones early in the ballgame, a 33-yarder and a 15er.
Yeah, and I mean, you just racking it up right there, and it's you can't help but just commend him for the effort that he's given.
And what about Van Landingham? We didn't know if he'd be playing tonight. We kept saying he wasn't going to be playing, but he plays in a spot you wouldn't expect with a hurt, injured arm or hand from last week. 2 catches for 57 yards, 29 and 28. The 29er was for a touchdown. And, again, that's what of course, the coaching staff that was scouting this game last week and also seeing it on video might not have noticed the how much of an effect that injury might have had. They might not even known he had an injury, but speculation was going around that he wouldn't play. But, I mean, maybe Roswell's ready for him anyway, but he's torching him now.
You missed one factor in all of that, and that's Ethan Van Lanningham.
All right.
He's one of the toughest kids on the team, and we've seen him take just some brutal hits, and you're thinking he's out for the game, and here he is 2 plays later. He's out there, and then you see him limping on the sidelines, but once he hits the field, he's just fine. That kid has an engine for sure.
Of course, we saw him on the basketball team last year playing some defense, too. That's where they like to use him, kind of get physical with some people out on the court. So Hobbs, in terms of the passing game in the first half, they were 13 of 21 in that department for 205 yards. So right now, 243 total yards on 20 plays, as that's compared 243 to 104, so more than doubling Roswell in total yardage. Eagles have 8 first downs, 5 penalties for 35 yards, 1 fumble given up. Unfortunately, got upended, did Argot, and coughed the ball up about the 10-yard line going in, and then 1 punt in the ball game as well. So, again, things looking pretty good for the Eagles at this point. I don't think you want to coast, though, as you got Lovington next week. That's going to be a big arch rival game.
No, honestly, the best case scenario is getting yourself to 50 points and just getting out of here healthy.
Of course, 23 points away from that here at Wool Bowl. Again, the site of the New Mexico Military Institute National Champions. Of course, pretty exciting to have a team from Roswell be in that position to take care of that business. Of course, the former school of Roger Staubach from the Dallas Cowboys, and, of course, the former Hobbs Eagle was here, too, for a year.
Yeah, I didn't know that Roger Staubach came through there. That is something new to me. I knew he was a Navy guy.
Some kid playing for that team you like. Who are they playing? UTEP this week.
UTEP's going to be at Oklahoma, and
you got a wager on that game?
Yeah, I do. I wager that Oklahoma paid UTEP well to travel there.
Yeah, that's crazy. You see the payoffs. Sometimes like $100,000 or something they pay.
Oh yeah, they're paying like $250,000 to football teams to come play some of these big teams early in the season, and unfortunately, there's the have and the have-nots, and UTEP's in football has been a have-not for a long time. But really, they were bowl eligible last year, went to a bowl, and Gavin Hardison, Hobbs product, leading the way, and that's the best season UTEP had since 2004. And so they're hoping to repeat it this year. A lot of people are picking them to be in the top 2 or 3 in the Conference USA, and I'm excited as a UTEP fan, to see what they're doing. First result of the first week wasn't what we expected, but they're holding up high hopes against Oklahoma.
How do you feel about Hardison's progress being there as a minor? He had to go the hard way, of course, take a year in the junior college ranks, and wasn't heavily recruited down in Hobbs. I mean, they're known for basketball, so it's not as easy to be seen.
And that's crazy because, he was one of the top passers in the nation when he was in Hobbs. And so went to NEMI, and he made the best of the situation that he wasn't, given the best amount of fruit. But like you say, you make lemonade out of lemons when you're giving them. That's what he did. And turned it into a scholarship to UTEP, and then turned that into a starting position. And now he's really, really throwing the ball well and, getting the yardage. He had over 3,000 yards passing last year.
Unfortunately, last week it was a Hardison blackout night. They had the black rally towels, and he gave a video message. But of course, you can't get away from college training, get ready for games to come to a high school game. That would have been probably tough to do.
Yeah. Even as close as El Paso to Hobbs is, they're not going to let you out the night before for sure.
Well, about a few minutes left before second half action here. Eagles up 27-0 over Roswell. Take a quick 2-minute break and come back more with Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on the YouTube Hobbs Sports page.
Very good.
Tiffany, you got any score updates, please, when you get a chance?
I just sent him to Brian.
Okay, thank you.
1 minute. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Back here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, your Hobbs Eagles leading the Coyotes 27-20 as we get ready for the second half. And, Coach, we got some scores coming in from Lee County.
Yeah, we got Tatum trailing Lordsburg 42-26, and this one just kind of surprised me. Santa Teresa all over Lovington 31-7.
Yeah, both teams are 0-2 in that game, too, so that would be the first win, hopefully for the Wildcats on a comeback there. And state champs from last year, pretty tough schedule to get it going, so we'll have to wait and see if they can come back in that one. Boy, Tatum had to go all the way down to that squad down there in the bottom part of the southwest of the state.
Yeah, you go to Lordsburg, you might as well stop and visit Arizona.
And catch a couple dust storms down there.
Yeah.
That place can be a
They've
mess.
actually had quite a bit of rain. That whole area where they
need
have
it.
the dust storms is actually underwater right now. It's
Whoa.
a giant lake.
Yeah, always driving through there. Remember those big signs that say could have a dust storm at any time. Be careful out there.
And you're by those big fields of dirt, but all of that's underwater right now. They've had just like 10 or 12 inches of rain in the last 3 weeks.
That's New Mexico. When it rains, it pours. I mean, we always say that in Hobbs, of course, when the rain does hit there. Well, Hobbs going to kick off, leading 27-0. Chacon doing the job tonight for Van Landingham from the 40-yard line, and a couple guys jumping up and down on the line, getting ready to go on and get some kick coverage here. Eagles again dominating in every category at this point, and here's the kickoff. A nice sidewinder, going to head to that end zone, hits the about a yard in and rolls out of the back line, and boy, getting some nice boot on that one, but soccer players expected to use that shoe like they do there. And
I'm loving me some Chacon right now, man. I love this kid. He has given our defense just great field position to defend. They're having to go 80 yards every time. I love the kid.
Coach Stevens giving him a high five when he came off the field, kind of like keeping him motivated out there for being a two-sport letter winner at this time. Roswell football at the 20, middle of the field, a couple of receivers right and one to the left side as Fuentes waits for the shotgun. Two-step drop into the pass situation, steps up, rolls right to the 15, throws a sidewinder, intercepted by the Eagles to the far side, 20, 15, heading up 10, 5, into the end zone for the touchdown, a pick six. That'll be about a 24-yarder on the return.
And I think that's Nathan Ciceros. I'm trying to get the number here.
Number 3? If it's number 3, that'd be C.J. Romero, but wait a sec, we might have a flag on this, Coach.
That looks like number 2 I'm seeing. No, it is 3. It is C.J. Romero.
But we got a flag on the far side, and I can't imagine it'd be against the Eagles before the interception because there was no flag thrown at that point. Maybe a celebration or something.
No, maybe something. There's a hat sitting at the 1 yard line over there.
Now, because if it's a penalty before the interception, that could cost the Eagles the football. But one of the line judge had his hat off at the 2 yard line. Oh, we got. Helmet-to-helmet contact might have been against the Eagles. But
it may have been on a block.
But the INT should count, though. I mean,
first down, yeah, and it happened after the INT.
15-yarder, though.
Basically, it happened on one of the blocks that sprung them to the end zone. So the touchdown doesn't count. Romero gets an interception. And, I mean, God, his hands on that were just amazing because he was just turning around, and it was like, bam, it hits him in the chest. And how he held on to that, I don't know. But that's great hands from C.J. Romero.
I'll tell you what, Fuentes is a lot of sidewinder action. He tries to kind of throw it off the elbow there and to the sideline and just put it right in the numbers of Romero that time.
And, he was running for his life when that happened. He was scrambling. He tried to do one of them Brett Favre throws. That's what it looked like.
Hobbs football at the left hash, 20-yard line. Going in are the Eagles. Twins left and right. Shotgun for Argot. Taking a little bit of time in the backfield on the hard count. Two-step drop. He's going to fire the fade to the left corner near the pylon. His ball is booted off the receiver, intended over there. He got past his two defenders that time, and unfortunately couldn't get the ball to loft into his hands on that one, but ended up almost scoring a soccer goal there.
Yeah, and you're just kind of running out of territory there. You want to throw one up that gives him a chance to run under it on that route. But unfortunately, by the time the ball got out there just wasn't much room left, so he kind of shortened the throw and couldn't come down with it.
Guess who it was? Ethan Van Landingham was the man on the intent on that one. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Argonne will bring a man in motion left to right. Shotgun, 3-step drop. Throws the out route to the 15. Stepping back around one defender, heads back to the right on the zigzag and diving ahead to the 5-yard line. And that's going to be a 15-yard pickup, and talk about the hit maneuver there for the Eagles.
That was Ethan Van Landingham. You ask and you shall receive.
So that's going to be 15 for him. 3rd catch for 72 yards. And that will be the 14th reception for the Eagles on 23 attempts. And that'll be the 9th first down at the 5-yard line. Hobbs knocking on the door, leading 27-0 early in the 3rd. Twins left and right for the Eagles. Van Landingham in the shotgun, has one man on his right back pocket. Handoff around the left side. Scampering, diving for as he gets tripped up into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's Diego Baeza, the tornado. All he did was just kind of slip by there and accelerate. They got a little bit onto his ankles, but he just jumped over him, got into the end zone.
4 carries and 28 yards on the ground. The first touchdown for Baeza. And the extent now is 33-0, and Hobbs is not going to go for 2 on this one to get it to that mercy roll clock running, but this will make it 34 unless they try a fake here. I don't think you're going to use your soccer kicker for the quarterback roll here on a fake.
I don't think so either. Snap
is good. Kick is a hard one, and it's going to go through the uprights for the PAT. 11-12 remaining here in the 3rd. Eagles up now. The scoreboard is saying 39. They have to erase some of those points. They're backpedaling it here. It's 34-0. I was going, where did I get the 39 from? We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear. You said 60, right?
Make it 30, please.
Okay. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl. 34-0 your Eagles over the Roswell Coyotes. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Well, lots of guys getting TDs tonight. Not as many of the pileup we saw last week with individuals, but these guys are still scoring for them. Van Landingham, Argot with 2, Jaquez with 1, and then a 5-yard run for Baeza, making it 34-0 here with 11-12 left, 3rd quarter. 1 point away from mercy roll situation as we get ready for Chacon to kick off from the 40 once again. Getting a lot of work on that leg from the soccer squad, and he's going to keep it low this time. A couple of bounces, picked up at the 20, up to the middle of the 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 1 to beat, 50, and down to the 45 of the Eagles and run out of bounds at the 43. So Roswell started to hear some crowd noise there on the far sideline.
They're going to get excited about that. It's the biggest play they've had of this game.
Return man for the Coyotes was Jura Moriel, one of the cornerbacks. He picked it up about the 20 and brought it into Hobbs Eagle territory at the 40-yard line. So that's about a 40-yard return. And a couple of officials getting together. Hope there's not a flag on that far sideline.
I'm not sure what they're talking about here. It looks like we're just going to play some football.
So that will be a 1st and 10 for the Coyotes. Some of their best field position of the night at the right hash 42 of the Eagles, but are trailing 34-0. They cannot be slow in these series because clock's not to their advantage. Shotgun, Fuentes, 2-step drop, flushed out of the pocket, rolling left to the 50, near left sideline. He's going to do that sidewinder. I don't think they got a foot down. We'll have to wait and see. A diving catch on the near side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Good extension by Josh Estrada, but didn't have the foot down.
Yeah, he was able to come down with the ball, but feet were out of bounds.
Boy, he talk about some nice control in those hands and had the eye right on top of it. He couldn't do much better as a sprawl out there for the intended receiver. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. Roswell is 8 of 14 in the passing game. At the half, they had 52 yards in the air, 52 on the ground. Hobbs with 38 rush and 205 in the passing game. 2nd down and 10 from the 42, right hash for the red and white.
Hobbs defense looking to kind of rein things in here and get back control of this penetration from Roswell.
Coyotes with the Twins left, receiver right, shotgun Fuentes, pitch to the left side. Stutter step, putting his head down is the running back Sanchez, and try to cut it back up the middle, and there's 3 white jerseys on top of him with gold and black on their uniforms.
Yes, 3 white jerseys on top, 6 in the area. There's only 2 guys, and there's both safeties on the opposite side of the field who didn't get there. That was 9 Eagles within 5 yards of that ball.
No gain on the play for Sanchez. That's his first no gainer of the contest, and brings up a 3rd down and 10. So Eagles putting up some heavy wall in that line of scrimmage, and they get now Twins on the left side for Roswell, 1 on the right in the receiving core. Fuentes has a man right behind him now, shotgun, 3-step drop to the 50, throws a quick curl at the 35, a diving catch made, a 35-yarder, or 35-yard line, I should say. That's a 6-yard, make it 5 now. They mark it back at the 34.
Jackson on the tackle there.
Guy the catch on the far side was Segala. And that's his 4th catch for 36. That'll be the 9th completion for the Coyotes on 15 attempts. 4th down and 4 now at the Hobbs Eagle 35. Man in motion right to left. Got a lot of movement in that backfield, is heading to the left side and then pulling on the brakes quickly. Was the running back in motion. That was Sanchez. Handoff to the fullback up the gut. 35 across the 30 where he needed to get, and continues in Hobbs Eagle territory. And that will be a 1st down pickup. That'll be about 7 yards for the 1st down.
And that's their version of a check with me play like we do. They're basically trying to draw you offside. They send a man in motion, go hard twice. It's not there. Then they look to the sidelines for the next play.
That's Kennard, his 4th carry for 36, 6th 1st down. Fuentes going to hand off Kennard again, and he's just going to go up the gut and get out to the 25 as he'll pick up another 3. Back-to-back runs for Kennard. Total now of 39 yards in this ball game on 5 carries. And now they're starting to get more aggressive, coming out after the next play. Lining up hard here are the Coyotes. Clock is down to 9:01 left in the 3rd, 34-0 Eagles. 2nd down and 7. Fuentes going to throw a post route in the middle. The ball gets deflected, caught on the near sideline after the deflection, and a somersault at the 10-yard line. What a great reaction as it came off one receiver and bounced to the far sideline in the air. And that will be a 1st down, so that's going to be about, looks like 15 yards, as the catch was made for Roswell by number 32, Jordan Weathersby. Good concentration on that one.
Sometimes you're better lucky than good.
2 catches for 20 yards, a 10th reception for the Coyotes. Handoff around the right end and getting tornado to the ground was Christian Hernandez. That's his 1st carry in the ball game. He's one of their top rushers. He'll get about 2 on that one.
Coming up from the safety position to make that tackle is Hector Armendariz again.
So 1st carry for Hernandez.
You saw a great job by the corner on the outside, taking the force and coming upfield just a little bit, not too much, forcing them inside to where the safeties and the linebackers are coming.
So 4 on the play. 2nd down and goal now from the 7. Shotgun for Fuentes by himself. Trips right, Twins left. He's going to fire left corner over the shoulder. Getting beat on 2 defenders that time, but overthrows at the left back pylon intended for Josh Estrada. He did get by the 2 Hobbs Eagle defenders that deep left corner of the end zone, but the ball about 8 yards ahead of it.
Yeah, and the blitz came hard on that one, and they jumped up and forced him to throw his arm mark really high to get rid of that ball without it being blocked.
3rd down and goal now from the 7. Roswell down 34-0. Twins left and right again. Fuentes by his lonesome in the backfield. Ooh, we got a receiver on the right side, the inside receiver, jumping way too far across the line of scrimmage. That was Josh Estrada, the guy that caught the pass just a second ago.
And, you know, in the words of a lot of great people, they say this: you can't do that.
Roswell is 11 of 18 in the ball game in terms of the passing department. Top receiver is Segala with 36 yards on 5 catches. Now they're going to back it up to the 12-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and goal.
They're probably going to look to go back to Weatherby here.
Trips left, 2 receivers right. Again, by himself is Fuentes, waiting for the shotgun. 2-step drop back to the 20, rolls left, getting punched out of the pocket. He's going to throw it left corner of the end zone again. This time it open again for the 2nd time for the score, and that's connect to Peyton Kennard. The Eagles lost coverage on that one and pay the price, left corner of the end zone.
Yeah, he looked across the middle, and everybody was covered. He started running for his life, and then the receiver all of a sudden just broke off and they just left them behind right there to get that pass to the end zone.
Only second catch for Kennard, that for a 12-yard touchdown. He's got 2 for 15 total. And Roswell on the scoreboard as they now trail 34-6, pending the PAT. And Hobbs was knocking on the door for a mercy roll, but now it looks like a little bit more breathing room for the home Coyotes.
Yeah, they're trying to stay in the game. If you're still playing hard and everything else, you tell it's a well-coached team. They're down and down 34-0. They were still playing hard, trying to score.
Late Lyman subbing in for Roswell to get their 11th player. The kick is going to be up, and it is inside the left upright. That was also the guy that caught the touchdown. Peyton Kennard had put it through for the Coyotes. So Roswell gets on the scoreboard. 7:44 remaining here in the third. Hobbs 34, Roswell 7. Come back with us live here on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. Are you going to want a 30 or a 60 for this one?
30, please.
$10. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
34-7, your score. Hobbs Eagles lead. 7:44 on the clock here in the third. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Eagles here on the road. They will be next week as well. Not a long road trip for you Hobbs Eagle fans in Lovington and the rest of Lee County that's going to be participating in that game. Of course, Lovington trying to come back, losing to Santa Teresa in our last score update. They're going to be 0-3 if they lose that one, or possibly 1-2. Wait to see on that game. But, of course, the Eagles and the Wildcats know each other pretty well there in Lee County, and Lovington, a state champ from last year. Hobbs Eagles, a good playoff team as well. So we'll have to wait and see of how well that game is going to go next week. But I'm very anxious to see if the Wildcats can come back tonight to pick off Santa Teresa.
Trailing as far as they are, Santa Teresa was a big surprise to me. And, you hate to see Lovington fall off so much from last year to this year, but they did graduate a lot.
Plus, they played this Roswell team to start the season and also took on Seminole last week, which you haven't seen many of those type of matchups with Texas versus Hobbs on that West Texas border there. Seminole pretty much stayed away from our teams. Closest we played is what was that Ryder team we played in Andrews a few years ago, but actually that was last year.
Yeah, in Lubbock.
Here comes the kickoff. Kennard will send it to the 40, caught in stride to the left side to the 44 on the return. Has a good ankle sweep from behind to pull down the Hobbs Eagle on the return that time. I believe
Diego Baeza.
Yeah, Baeza is the one that got it. Kind of a weird lineup there for Roswell on the kickoff. They had some stacked guys, like 3 different spots, 3 guys behind each other. The only thing you have to have is 4 men on each side of the football. So they did do that, but they stacked them up behind each other in different spots. I have to get on YouTube and see where they picked that up from.
Yeah,
That's Coach Flynn.
Looked kind of like the Maryland Eye for a second there, but, they were kicking off.
Hobbs football, 1st and 10 from their own 43 on the left hash. Shotgun for Argot. Has Baeza with him. Hands it off to him. Angle right to the 45. Tries to back in for a few more. And is put down on the 46-yard line for a gain of 3.
And that one was all about the big boys right there. Baeza just kind of tucked behind the pulling guard, and they just plowed forward. Wasn't a whole lot of space, but, they got a good push.
5 carries for 31 yards now for Baeza. Had that 5-yard touchdown here in this third quarter. 2nd down and 7 from the 46, middle of the field now. 2 receivers left and right, back to pass Argot. Going to fade it to the near sideline, a spiral over the shoulder. One-handed basket catch almost. It hits the ground and a PI. As I think we got some help from the Hobbs Eagle, Caden Trevino, to tell the official I got knocked around a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He got up trying to make the signal for him to help him, but they can see that contact all the way down the sideline.
Yeah, Caden almost had a chance to catch that. The ball came down to the ground. He tried to scoop his bicep underneath it, kind of like a hook. And
tried a one-handed basket catch.
Yeah, that would have been a beautiful come down. But I think the ground might have hit him hard and might have popped it out anyway. But he got now we got a five crew decision. Maybe they're going to decide if the ball was in the air. It definitely had to have been on that play.
Yeah, well, I think they're just trying to have a referees convention here in Roswell.
It's pretty easy. Just mark it from the line of scrimmage, not like the NFL, tacking it on where the play happened. But I'm anxious to see. Maybe they've changed it here. Pass interference. Oh, another flag comes out late. I think Coach Lynn is upset. He's out 20 yards on the field. He's coming to the middle of the field, Coach.
Oh, man, he's being dragged off the field by one of his fellow coaches.
Oh, he's throwing a fit.
He's pointing at referees, everything else. He's already got another 15 tacked on.
I thought maybe the ref was just throwing another flag so everybody knew it was a PI, but no, it's because Lynn was 20 yards out in the field, past the inside left hash mark on that far sideline. That's going to be an additional 15. That's 30 yards, Coach.
And he's still barking at the referee.
Now we got the Roswell fans not too happy. They're booing from the red side. And both fans are starting to react. The Eagles are clapping over here, of course, because of the 30-yard turnaround here, going to go against the red squad.
And here's the thing. It's not as if one play has dictated the outcome of this game. It's 34-7.
Reffing crew from Clovis tonight. They announced that before the game started. So that's going to go from the 41 and should be 30 yards because 2 penalties. One was a live ball and then one was a dead ball. Yep, they're going to move it even more, 30 yards. Way deep into Roswell territory now. So 2 15-yard penalties against the home team.
Yep, the players on the field can say thanks, Coach.
Yeah, that's an ugly situation now at the 24 of the Coyotes after Roswell just scored and tried to get on back in the game here.
And he's still barking at that lines judge over there.
1st and 10 from the 24. Eagles at the middle of the hashes now. Shotgun out of the split formation. Pump fake. Here's another fade. Left corner of the end zone. Wide open. Trevino diving to the front pylon. He falls over the top of it, and the official is going to say he's out of bounds. Referee was
they're both signaling touchdown.
Oh, they're changing it, though. That line judge first had nothing. He said he was down at the 1. Now they're going to go have a conference, and they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I saw both of them eventually raise their hands.
25-yard fadeaway to Caden Trevino. Reached back for it and came down on top of the pylon and makes the catch and the score.
And what I loved about that was the pump fake from Argot just absolutely made that cornerback bite, and all he did was just lay it up there softly where Trevino can come down with it.
That's his first touchdown of the ball game. 7 catches for 91 yards for Caden Trevino. And Eagles go back to a 40-7 lead with 6:57 remaining, waiting for Chacon on the PAT. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 41-7. Eagles by 34, still 1 point away from Mercy Roll with 6:57 left third. Back live with more Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page.
You're clear. Thirty. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Chacon kicking off for the Hobbs Eagles now as it goes high and end over end to the 1 yard line. It will be returned up the right hash to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and down to the 40. Almost broke one earlier. Actually stopped at the 39 yard line. Artesia. Roswell fans finally get the team right there. That was Robert Truex. He's had a couple returns there for the Coyotes, as they'll put that one at the 39-yard line. So some decent field position for the Coyotes. They scored on their last drive, but the Eagles come back with a couple of 15-yard penalties tacked on to Roswell to get them in scoring position to answer those numbers.
And, after all this drama with the coach on the field, giving up the touchdown immediately, it's interesting to see how Roswell comes out and play, if they're fired up or if they've just rolled up the white flag.
1st and 10 from their own 39 on the right hash. Fuentes gets the shotgun, 3-4 step drop. He'll throw the out route to the 40. Caught, putting his head down and battering ram style was Caden George. And he gets out to the 40. A lot of lateral running that time. Actually, correction, that was Peyton Kennard again. He's one of their go-to guys here in the second half.
And immediately after he makes the catch, McPherson and Chisholm were there to bring him down.
Kennard with his third catch for 19 yards. That's the 12th reception for the Coyotes on 24 attempts.
We got a score coming in. Tatum loses 58-34. That's a final.
That was in Lordsburg tonight. Twins right, no one receiver left. They'll throw the comeback route. Caught at the 47, down to the 50 into Hobbs territory at the 49. It will be a 9-yard pickup for the first down as a reception for the Coyotes pulled down by Lanicio Macias. That's his first catch of the ball game.
And it looks like Roswell has a little hop in their step coming out here. They're trying to get revenge for their coach on this offensive series.
7th first down for the Coyotes. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 49 on the left hash. Shotgun. Fuentes 3-step drop. Dump it in the left flat. Caught by the running back Sanchez. Heads out of bounds to the line of scrimmage. Might have got some forward progress. And it will be a completion, but he might not be getting much out of this. They might have just marked it right back to the line of scrimmage. That's where it is.
Yeah, Cameron Hernandez came down the line there to push him out of bounds.
First catch for Sanchez. That will be the 14th reception. 2nd down and 10, though, at that 49 once again. Trips right, bunched up in front of the line of scrimmage there, and one to the left side of the receiving core. Pitch right to Sanchez, heading outside 50, 45, down to the 42, 40, and then continues on for a little bit more. I think his knee might have been down at the 40, though.
Now, he got spun away from it. You saw the push, the lineman going forward. He wasn't in that push because he got spun and thrown at the 43 or 44 yard line.
Yeah, they marked him way back on that one, so that's going to be about, looks like 6 yards for Sanchez. 12 carries for 52. They're going to throw the quick slant over the head of the intended receiver at the 40 left side. That was thrown to Manuel Segala, and he had to get up on a ladder to even be close to that one.
Look at Isaiah Jackson. He read that all the way, and he jumped in front of it. And the throw was just so hard it went through his hands, but Jackson was thinking pick six the whole way.
And ball behind the receiver that time. He was middle of the field, and the ball thrown to his left as he was going left to right.
I apologize. That was not Isaiah Jackson. That was Nathan Cicetos.
3rd down and 4 now for the Coyotes at their own, or at the Eagle 43-yard line on the right hash. Clock is down to 5:08 left, 3rd quarter. Eagles up by 34, 41-7. 3 receivers bunched up right, 1 left. Shotgun Fuentes, delay handoff around the right end. Here goes Sanchez with the spin, tries to cut it back. And a big wrap-up for 3 or 4 white jerseys for the Eagles, short of the 40-yard line. He needed to get to the 39 of the Eagles, and I don't think he got it.
Nope, they're sending out the offense, it looks like.
He needed to get 4. He ended up with 3. That's not good enough. And that'll turn over on downs for the first time tonight. Although Sanchez does have 13 carries for 55 yards, but the Hobbs Eagle coaching staff pretty excited they got a stop on that series.
Yeah, absolutely. And still bringing out the first-team offense. At this point, we might see some changes in the 4th quarter, but at this point, they're just trying to get that clock rolling.
Yeah, definitely. We like to see that running clock as much as possible. As now the Eagles will start 1st and 10 from the Roswell 40-yard, or from the Eagle 40-yard line, left hash. Our guy has a couple of men behind him in the split formation. Handoff as going to the right and getting upended and kind of taking a somersault roll across the line of scrimmage. It looked like Van Landingham was the man that got that
Van Landingham back there doing some running duties.
And I think he fell forward for a 1-yard pickup that time, and that was his first or second carry of the ball game for 5 yards total at the 40.5-yard line.
Van Landingham is your Swiss Army knife. He can do just a little bit of everything and tough as nails.
2nd down and 9 from the 41 for the Eagles. In between the 2 hash marks. Give the handoff from right to left. Breaking a tackle, keeping his head down and slamming forward for a couple extra more for the Eagles.
Saul Armendariz on the run that time.
As he's going to pick up a couple more. Armendariz now with 2 carries for 6 total. Clock's going to run for the Eagles. Definitely what they want to do, some clock management here. 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles with 4:05 remaining in the 3rd. Still a 34-point Eagle lead. Trips right, receiver left.
We haven't seen Argot pull it out of his belly in a while.
Argot with a hard count. Looks like left of the line for Roswell, stumbling over. Of course, this is high school. You can't get back on those. You have to take the penalty when they come. And 3 guys were jumping over the line that time for the red defense. It's going to go against Roswell, so the 5-yard penalty. They've had 3 penalties in the second half for 35 and a total of 80 yards in penalties. Of course, a couple of those on a PI and a coach getting a unsportsmanlike conduct, too, which moved them 30 yards deep into Roswell territory, and Hobbs scoring very quickly after that. 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles at the 48 of their own. Trips right, receiver left, fake the handoff, back to pass. A post route down the middle, and it goes off the hands. A high leaper at the 25, and unfortunately comes off the fingertips. Incomplete for the Eagles, up over 2 defenders.
Yeah, he made a good effort to go up there and get it. Coverage was really good on the Roswell half.
Hawkes on that one.
Yeah, And the coverage by George Chavez, the outside linebacker, really good job getting out there and staying on him.
Coach, 4th and 2 at about the 49 of your own, or 48, I should say. Is this even in possible fake punt territory here?
I think at this point you go on 2 and see if they jump.
Of course, a 34-point lead, not yet to the mercy roll. That was incomplete. Clock stop at 3:48. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Shotgun for Argott. He's going to take it. He tucks it, heads right, cuts back to the middle. He's got the first down, did a good job of checking where the marker was, and into Roswell territory at the 48. So he gets 4 yards on that one. Boy, that's a gutsy call there.
Yeah, I kept thinking they're going to come to him at some point. He's been handing it off pretty consistent for over a quarter and a half. At some point, he's going to keep one and try to bust it.
That's going to be for Argott, his 3rd carry for 11 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and the 10th first down for the Eagles at the Roswell 48 near the right hash. Trips right on the short side, 1 left on the receiving core. Argott going to take a shot. Turns and fires at the whistle comes. This is the ball gets to Argott, and looks like might have been some movement.
Yep, this one's going to march back 5 yards.
That'll be a false start, 5-yard penalty. And I noticed Roswell's band keeps playing during live balls. It's not supposed to be allowed in the NFHS, and they're not stopping it either.
Lovington's coming back. They made a little bit of more of a game. They're trailing by 16, 31-15 against Santa Teresa. That's in the 3rd.
That's a homecoming game for the Wildcats on the blue turf. They'll host next week against the Eagles. 2nd penalty for Hobbs in the 2nd half, 55 yards overall on 7 flags in the ball game. Now it's back a little bit longer here with the first down and 14 to go at the 47 of the Eagles. Fake the handoff, fumbling the ball as Argott lost it in the gut of his running back that time and had to reach back for it to pick it up, scooped it and dropped at the 40, so he does lose some yards on that one, but he retained possession.
Yeah, marching backwards is not what you do. Now you're going to have to throw something deep.
So it's going to be Argott losing 6 on that one. That's going to drop it back to the 41 on the right hash, a 2nd down. And that looks like they're going to get, how many are you going to have to get for a first down? About 11 extra, or like, about 11 extra on this one.
Yeah,
so
it's 3rd and 21.
A little bit of a tougher situation now with the pair of receivers left and 2 to the right side. Argott in the backfield takes a shotgun, 2-step drop. He's going to fire down the middle. Seam route, wide open, catch at the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the touchdown. That's going to be a 59-yard reception for the Eagles, getting past the defenders, and he's all she wrote for the Roswell defense.
Yeah, and that was Ethan Van Landingham, the Swiss Army knife, making that reception and running it into the end zone.
59-yarder for Ethan Van Landingham. That's his 2nd reception for a touchdown. He had a 29-yarder back in the first half. Total of 4 receptions now and over 100 yards in pass yardage. Unbelievable. All 4 of his receptions have been double digits, Coach. Big numbers tonight. 2 of them 20-plus, and the 59-yarder just there. Here comes Chacon with the extra point, up and good. 2:22 left, 3rd quarter. Eagles in that mercy roll category now. 48-7 over Roswell. We got you more Eagle football action in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Here, Claire, you said 30, right?
Yep.
Just making sure. Ten. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 48-7, your score. The Hobbs Eagles all over the Roswell Coyotes. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
Omar Argott connecting on his 16th pass of the ball game at a total of 26 attempts. So definitely doing the job there. And Van Landingham, of course, mentioning his 4th reception of the game. He's had a 59-yarder, 29, 28, and 15 in this contest, and those 2 touchdowns. A kid with a messed-up hand. He rammed it into a helmet last week against Artesia. Knew he wasn't going to kick tonight. Didn't think he'd play receiver either, but he's definitely saying, Coach, I'm going to play hurt, and he's doing the job. Probably doesn't feel with all the adrenaline running through him.
Nah, no, I don't. You don't feel it much. Boy, you feel it in the morning, though.
That's definitely the case. And he had 57 at the half. In this half, he has 74 yards. Long kick for Chacon. Caught at the 10 on the left hash. Put up the middle. 15, 20, 25, 30, and brought down to the 33-yard line. Boy, the return man going quick. Adrian Anaya that time, but he was slammed down from the side and flipped to the ground pretty hard.
And when we've said big hits all night, who do they come from? Hector Armandares.
Yeah, he's kind of like a magnet. He's just looking for that football. But they've had some decent returns, though. Roswell does have some speed. If they can ever break one. They had two that almost got through the Eagles and in for scores.
Yeah, and they're getting pretty good seam blocks up the middle.
We are in mercy rule timing now as the clock will run. 1:45 left in the third. 48-7 Eagles up by 41. Shotgun for Fuentes. He's got a pair of receivers left, one to the right side. One man behind him in the running back core. Two-step drop. Fuentes sliding left. Throws the out route towards the sideline, but overthrows his receiver through the fingertips that time. And a couple times that's happened for him in this third quarter. That was Jordan Weathersby. Of course, he's not getting all the catches he's used to. And Weathersby with only 2 for 20 total in this ball game.
Yeah, good coverage on that one by Jordan Chisholm.
Second down and 10 now for the Coyotes at their own 33-yard line. And with the loss here tonight, that'll be the first for Roswell. Dropped to 2-1, and the Eagles had improved to 3-0. And hey, that's looking pretty good as they head to Lovington next week.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Twins left, receiver right. Fuentes, high snap on the shotgun, hands around the right end. There goes Sanchez heading far side, likes to string it out. Just shy of the 40-yard line as he's brought down from behind. And
Singleton on the tackle over there. Did get quite a bit of yardage, but Singleton was able to wrap him up and get him down.
Sanchez gets 8 on that one. He's got 14 carries for 63 yards so far. You mentioned Singleton came into this ball game leading the team in tackles, and he's definitely a go-to guy in the linebacking core. Shotgun to Fuentes on a 3rd down and 4. Steps up in the pocket of the 35. Meets some resistance. Gets around him on a zigzag. Back to the 30 on the left sideline. Now chipped up from behind. The Eagles pull the shoelaces out. He's flat on the ground, way behind the line of scrimmage.
And it was Singleton in pursuit that finally got there. And, the quarterback had some positive yardage at one point that he could have just taken. He tried to backtrack and get around and get something extra. And that's when they drove him backwards.
Looks like he's going to lose 5, does the quarterback Fuentes, and he's still in the negatives tonight. That's going to end the third quarter on the mercy rule clock. Hobbs up big, 41 points, 48-7 your score over Roswell here at the Wool Bowl in the UF city of New Mexico. We will take a 60-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle action on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page.
You're clear. $30. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back as the fourth quarter begins. The Hobbs Eagles up 48-7. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Fred.
A 4th down situation for Roswell, 4th and 11. They're going to punt it. A high one, takes a big Roswell bounce at the right 35 hash mark and slides off to the left just a bit. And they'll mark it down there. Hobbs just gets away from it at the 36. So Eagles will take over again as they lead by a mercy rule score of 48-7 over the Coyotes. 11:47 left. And Coach, did you think they wanted to put this one in the W column and be out of here?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They still got the first-team offense out there. Have not brought the second-teamers in, but I'm pretty sure he'll start subbing in pretty soon.
Of course, the Eagles had a 2-0 start to the season. That's the first since 2013, and last week had the most points since 2017. They had 77 against Oñate. Of course, last week it's 69. Thanks to Jason Farmer, the sports editor of the Hobbs Sun, keeping up with those big-time numbers as we get a shotgun for Argot. Throws it in the right flat, and the ball hits the turf, incomplete. And is there a change in quarterbacks possibly?
No. That's Argot.
Is that Argot?
But that was actually a catch, but they're saying he caught it with his knee on the ground.
So they're going to go with they're going to do a loss on that. Who was that on that far side? Lost track of that one.
I think that may have been Hawkins.
Yeah. So Hawkes going to lose 2. Nothing he could have done about that one. He's made a good catch, but fortunately couldn't advance it the way he wanted to. So -2, that's his first minus of the ball game off the catch. That's the 12th, or make it the 17th reception for the Eagles. 2nd down and 12 now from the 21. Shotgun to Argot. Going to go with the handoff, left to right across the 40, 45, 50, and slid down at the 50-yard line. A slide tackle at the end there. And that's going to be 13, maybe 14 yards on that carry.
Yeah, I think that's a new ball carrier. I don't think that's somebody we've seen before. Trying to get a number here. Is that a 2? I can't tell.
I see. It looks like a 5 coming out. That would be Cesaris. Is that a 5?
No, that's not who it is. It's standing. He is in the backfield with Argot right now on the near side. I'll try to get that number for you.
Yeah, we're having some problem with these lemon-colored numbers, of course. And another handoff in the backfield, and it's going to go down hard. We're going to lose a couple of yards on the play. Again, we're really trying to get these numbers down here. For number 10 for the Eagles, that's Zach Salcido. So he's had a couple of runs in a row for Hobbs. He's going to lose, looks like, 4 on that one.
Yep. And that's his first 2 carries that I'm aware of. And he's listed. That's got to be an error in the thing. He's listed at 6'10", 160. I don't think he's 6'10".
Actually give him -3 on that one. Brings up a 2nd down and 13. The Eagles will have it, and they're taking a long time on the count here at the 46-yard line. Still on their side of the field, the right hash. Argot kind of stumbling around a little bit with 6 seconds on the play clock. Finally gets a handoff up the middle and bouncing outside down to the 49-yard line.
That might be another new running back.
Another one checking in. That's Saul Armendariz there.
Armendariz.
So he's going to get back as close as he can to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 4-yard pickup for Armendariz. That's going to be his 3rd carry for 10 yards total. And Hobbs is taking some time here as they know the clock's running for mercy roll. It was a run play anyway. 3rd down and 11 now from their own 49, middle of the field here with 8:55 remaining, up by 41, 48-7 over Roswell. Twins right, 2 receivers left. Argot's going to let the clock keep running on the play clock to 6. 1-step drop. Fade route to the near sideline left, and it's going to be dropped well short of his receiver at double coverage on the near left sideline in front of the Hobbs bench.
Yeah, they're looking for Ortega on that one.
Incomplete for the Eagles on the pass. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 11. And, of course, they're going to get a high punt on this one to pin back Roswell. Clock's going to continue to run here, even on the incomplete pass. Hobbs will still get in that punt formation. Eagles trying to get that record of 3-0 on the season. A couple more games before the district starts. Of course, has a new team in the district this year, Alamogordo. Now, of course, some of those Las Cruces schools as well, and Carlsbad. A lot of movement going on for the Eagles, trying to get everybody in position. Man in motion from right to left. Waiting for that shotgun. Van Lanningham gets the snap of the 40. He's going to nail it with a kind of a sidewinder. Off the face mask of the returner at the 15. It's loose. Hobbs has recovered, it looks like, at the 18 of the Coyotes on this left sideline. And, boy, they're happy about that one.
Number 55 on the recovery for the Eagles. That's Kenyon Johnson.
And given the football, the Eagles at the 18 on the fumble for Roswell. That's going to be the Coyotes' total of 4 fumbles, 1 interception. That's 5 turnovers there, 1 on downs as well. So the Eagles knock at the door. They're up by 41. Can't get this game over if they get it touchdown here because they're up by 41. Need to be 50 to close the game out. But the clock is still running as coach is going to get his final guy on the field as here we go with our first play from the 18 on this one from the left hash. Shotgun. Going to be a handoff right to left to the 20, 15, and dive into the pile at 11, and that's going to be about 6-7 yards on the carry.
Armendariz on the carry that time.
So Armendariz getting his 4th carry of the game, and that one's going to be for 6 yards. He's got 16 on a total of 4 carries, so 4 a pop there. Hobbs just kind of looking back to the sideline. They know the clock's their ally with 6:55 and ticking here. Yep. 2nd down and a long 3 now.
Owen Callaway's in at quarterback.
Yep, he played JV last night against Jal, so he went the distance in that game. And, boy, he's going to be a tired kid over this Labor Day weekend. Waiting for the shotgun. They needed it first at the 7. Lost the football in the exchange in the backfield. I didn't know if he was trying to hand it off or just kind of clunked between him.
Never had it in his hands.
Yep, him and Saul Armendariz kind of came together, and ball was kind of between them that time, all the way back to the 22-yard line. they're going to lose about 8 yards on that one.
I think he wanted to back up so he could throw the ball again.
Yeah, I was just talking to Callaway today at the high school, and he had a rough game. Not him, but the team itself against Jowling was 46-0 last night for JV, and he was the starting quarterback. So that kid puts his body in the line 2 nights in a row. Twins left and right. Ball at the 22-yard line. Need to get to the 7. Shotgun high again. Handoff. And scampering around up the middle of the 20, 15, and down to the 10-yard line. Picking up some of that yardage back they lost in the backfield just seconds ago. It looks like going to mark it at the 11-yard line. 11-yard pickup on that carry.
Make it about 4th and 3 or 4. Do we go and send Chacon in to do the field goal duties?
Good question.
Yeah, we do.
That was a carry was by Saul Armendariz again for 11 yards, his best of the ball game on that one.
Here's an added dimension. We're going to try a field goal.
27 yards rushing for Armendariz so far. They're going to place the ball about the 19. There'll be a 29-yarder on the field goal, as we're going to see if this Chacon kid has got what it takes from longer than PAT range. Good snap, kick is up, gets a good power boom on it, and it is through the uprights. So the Eagles getting a field goal here. And now they lead 51-7. They beat the half-century mark, lead by 44. 6 more points, and it's going to be game over early, but 5:20 remaining here in the 4th over Roswell. Come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. $15. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Roswell, 51-7. Your Eagles all over the Coyotes. Here's Ty Friend.
Goal!
Had to get it in once more, didn't you, Ty?
Ahid Chacon, how many points has he got tonight?
He's got 10
kicker?
points in this game. And you're commenting that it's hard to get 10 goals in soccer. He's already got 10 points in football in his first game.
Yeah, he might be turning in his jersey next week and keep it on the football field here. But he plays on field turf for that, too. And, of course, great to see a guy get a double opportunity. Remember, another kid did that a while back. Nick Lopez was playing the kicker for Hobbs and then also playing some soccer, too. So definitely multi-sport athletes welcome at the Hobbs High School 6A level. Here's the kickoff for Chacon. End over end. Catch will be made at the 15 on the far left sideline. They're going to head to the middle with it, to the 20, and pulled down hard. Boy, talk about a side swipe. His return man was Jorge Chavez, and he paid a price as I don't think he saw where that was coming from.
And that was Kenyon Singleton and Manuel Murillo who double-teamed him to take him down right there.
Going to be at the 22-yard line for the Coyotes between the 2 hash marks. So lined up kind of in the even side there. 5:12 remaining. Clock is ticking even though teams just barely exchanged the football because we got the mercy rule going as the 35-point differential is well past that at this point at 44. 5 minutes left in the ball game. Trips left, the bunch set right near the line of scrimmage, and one receiver to the right. They're going to pitch left. And heading out there as usual goes Sanchez to the far side, 20, 25. And gets out to the 30. He's going to be close to the first down. Might shy by about 1 on that carry.
That was not Sanchez. That was number 4, Christian Hernandez. They have subbed out. They've got their number 2s in the game now as well. Actually, Fuentes is still the quarterback, but that was Christian Hernandez running the ball.
8 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 2. Shotgun. Fuentes going to hand off left side. 30, 35 to the far sideline to the 39 for the first down. That's going to be about 9 for him.
That's Hernandez again, and you know what? Where's this kid been? He's got some pretty good speed.
Yeah, he didn't play, I don't think. He got 1 carry in the first half. That's 2 for 17 now for Hernandez. Another first down. That's 8 for the Roswell Coyotes at their own 39. Fake the handoff, running the left side this time and trying to get out of bounds to stop the clock, Manny Fuentes. And not very much additional on that one as he gets to the Roswell sideline out at the 42 for a 2-yard pickup. And that will be his 7th carry of the ball game, but he's still way back in the negatives in terms of yards. Minus 30 so far for Fuentes on 7 carries.
We have quite a few subs in on defense right now.
Shotgun Fuentes. Angle right to left. There's a flag flying across the 50. Wait, no, I guess it wasn't a flag. It looked like it, but he's into Hobbs Eagle territory and will move the chains.
That's Hernandez again.
Yep, 15-yard pickup for Hernandez. That's his 3rd now for 32 yards. So having a pretty decent late 4th quarter look here And that will be the 9th first down for the Coyotes. They're moving quickly, too. 1st and 10 from the 47. Burst of speed for the Coyotes. Shotgun to Fuentes, dumps it in the right flat. No, the ball's batted and behind the line of scrimmage. Talk about a big paw coming up there at the last second to knock that high in the air. Incomplete.
Trying to get the number. I can't tell if it's 38 or 33 that batted that down.
Definitely kind of waited for the cock on that one and then just let it slam into the football, as that was 38, as you mentioned, Coach. Xavier Alvarado, the defensive end, getting through there. 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Fuentes going to roll right, wants to pass, throws the out route, coming back to get it to 40 and take it down hard right at the 40-yard line. Nice snag, though, for the receiver.
Bryson Avila on the tackle, number 12.
Lanicio Macias is the guy that made the catch and got his head taken off after that. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup for Macias. And that's his second catch, 16 yards total, 2 catches so far.
You can see a big difference with that clock moving. There's already under 3 minutes.
Handoff around the left end, going hard as Mendoza to the far side, stretching out to the 30 and run out of bounds to stop the clock. He needed to get to the 35, and he's getting plenty more than that. That's going to be 7 for Mendoza. 2 carries for 11 for him. That'll be the 10th first down. Gets the clock not stopped because we're on mercy rule. 2 minutes and ticking. 51-7 Eagles. Left hash, 1st and 10 for the Coyotes at the Eagle 30. Double slot, handoff up the left side, bouncing off defenders and putting his head down and getting the shoulder pads in too. Giovanni Apodaca as he heads left and bangs ahead for a couple.
Yeah, another name that we haven't really said much tonight. They're making sure they're getting some bodies into the game.
Yeah, Apodaca, that was his first carry as a running back in the game. Didn't mention him in the first half. Back to pass, Fuentes. He's going to roll right, stops, puts on the brakes, fires it to the middle of the end zone. Intercepted at the goal line, at the 1-yard line, actually. And that's going to be an INT, as the referee says he did come down with it.
And I'm trying to get the number, who it is. Is it 8? That's Isaiah Jackson if it's 8.
Yep, looks like it is an 8. Got kind of scrunched up when he did the chest bump coming off the field there. So another INT in the books for the Hobbs Eagles. That's a second INT. 4 fumbles for 6 turnovers and a turnover on downs, Coach. Kind of matching the numbers from last week.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, Jackson, he had 6 picks last year in playing 6A ball in Texas. So, you know, interceptions are something he's used to.
Best part is the clock's under 1 minute now, the mercy rule clock, and the Eagles going to get up on the line of scrimmage at the 1-yard line. Officials stopped the clock for some reason. I guess Roswell was still jogging players onto the field.
Yeah.
So this should just be a couple of kneeled. Well, you can't kneel down in the end zone. You'll take a safety unless you just want to. If you do that, though, you're going to end up kicking it off again.
Yeah,
so you don't want to do that.
Yeah, clock's not moving yet. They're trying to.
The resetting the play clock is what's happening. You see the official with his hand pushing up in the air, which must be a reset. Should be a 25-second clock, though, after they exchanged football there. So Hobbs will have it. It'll be a shotgun, and kind of surprised it's a shotgun. You just take a regular snap and head forward with it so you don't have any chance of fumbling in the end zone. They're going to go with the hand. No, fake. No, Argot does give it off at the last second. Actually, Callaway heads it to the left side, and it's going to let the clock run here.
Trying to see who it was that got that carry. I think it may have been Armendariz.
Yep, he gets a couple. Goes from the 1. Let's see where they place it at. The 7, so 6 yards for Armendariz. That will be the last play of the ball game. So Armendariz will finish up with 6 carries for 33 yards, and that was going to get the clock down to 10. Hobbs is already lined up, so is Roz at the 50-yard line. They're not going to wait for the buzzer to sound here. Still 5 seconds. The Eagles going to pick up a 44-point win on the road, 51-7 over the Roswell Coyotes. Eagles now 3-0 on the season, and the Coyotes drop to 2-1. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with a Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page. Stay with us.
Very clear. 2 minutes.
Add one, please.
Okay. Two minutes. One minute.
One more minute, please.
Okay. One minute. Thirty. Ten. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back. The Hobbs Eagles with a big win tonight and 3-0 on the season tie, and it's just nice to see everything clicking like it did.
Yeah, 51-7, Mercy Row win, 44-point victory, getting close to 50 at some points in this game. But Eagles take care of business and pretty much dominating throughout much of this contest. Again, at halftime we're up 27-0, so already all one score away from being at Mercy Row at halftime.
Yeah, and offense was amazing. They did have a couple of stops that Roswell slowed them down, but no big turnovers, no giving the ball in good position. The team did a great job tonight.
Eagles started off with a 29-yard pass to Van Landingham from Argot, 7-0 in the first quarter. Hobbs getting 3 scores in the second, 2 rushing touchdowns, a 6 and a 1-yarder for Argot, which improved it to 20-0 at that point after a missed PAT. And then finally a 62-yard pass before halftime from Argot to Hawkes made it 27-0 at the halftime break. Eagles getting a bunch of touchdowns in the third quarter. They had a total of 3 versus 1 for Roswell. A 5-yard run for Baeza made it 34-zip. Roswell got their lone score off a 12-yard pass at Kennard from Fuentes, made it 34-7 Eagles. And then Hobbs with 2 more in the third quarter, a 21-yard pass from Argot to Trevino, 41-7, and a 59-yard pass from Argot to Van Landingham, 48-7 your score with 2:32 left in the third. And the final score of the ball game, of course, the soccer player turned football star kicker, 29-yard field goal by Chacon to get the final margin. Again, a big win, 51-7 the final.
And, you know, one thing that just sticks out to me is that this is a Roswell squad that came in averaging over 50 points a game in offense. We held them to 7.
Yeah, they beat Lovington by 40 to start the season, 50-0 last week over Santa Fe. So definitely some impressive numbers there. Let's take a look at the Roswell offense first. They were kind of balanced, but not to the numbers that I'm sure Coach Linwood wanted to see in this ball game. They did manage to get 63 yards off 15 carries for Sanchez. Hernandez was 3 of 32 on the ground. Also Kennard, 5 of 39 rushing, and Mendoza went 2 for 11. And that's everybody in terms of Apodaca, 1 carry for 4. But after that, you had the quarterback Fuentes, 7 for -30. One of those is a pretty bad one, a -28 on a bad snap over his head. So that kind of pads the negative numbers for him there. Total rushing night for the Roswell Coyotes at 123, so pretty low numbers there. On the passing side of it, though, quite a few receivers made catches, but not substantial stuff. Segala had 5 catches for 36 yards. Kennard 3 for 19 and a touchdown. Weatherby, a very small game for him tonight, 2 for 20. He's one of the big ones last week in the 5 catches against Santa Fe, so he was kind of quiet. Macias had 2 catches for 16. Segala finished with 5 for 36, if I didn't mention him already. And Mendoza, or actually a couple guys got catches for no yards, Sanchez and Stalia. So that pretty much gives you it all for Roswell. They had a total, I look like 8 receivers coming up with receptions in this game, but only for a total of 112 yards, as Fuentes was 16 of, 32 or 33 in this ball game, so about 50% close to that number in this game. So definitely not the big night that they'd like to have for Roswell. Biggest problem for them, Coach, 4 fumbles, 2 INTs, a turnover on downs. That means you're coughing it up 7 times in this ball game.
Yeah, and you can't do that and win a ball game for sure. That just tells you how dominant the defense was for the Eagles tonight.
They got a total of 9 penalties in this ball game for 80 yards, too, so they're backing themselves up with some of the yellow handkerchiefs in this game. Although Roswell did see some momentum on their last drive, they did finish with 10 first downs.
Yeah, they did. And they did a much better job in the second half, but that's when the turnovers came. They'd move the ball down and turn it over. When in the first half, they weren't turning it over, but they were forced to punt quite a bit.
Looking at the Hobbs Eagles now, who win 51-7 to go 3-0 this season. Not the big rushing numbers we saw last week when they thrashed Artesia, but some guys stepping up. Armandaris came in, especially in the fourth quarter. He was 6 of 33 total and had the best of 11 in the fourth quarter. So definitely a good job coming in here in that finale of the ball game. Baez, of course, the starter, had 5 carries for 31 yards. He had a long of 13 and a rushing touchdown for 5 in the game. Argot, the quarterback, went 4 carries for 5 yards and had 2 touchdowns on the ground of 6 and 1 in the first half. So he gets 12 points added to his name. Other than that, not a lot of big numbers. Van Landingham carried a few times, kind of surprising with the hand injury there. 2 carries for 5 yards. And that's about it for positive carriers in this ball game. Total of 4 of those guys getting the job done there. And that's pretty much it in terms of positive yardage. But the Eagles, 7 total of, I'm sorry, excuse me here. I was going to say 7 carries. No, a total of 38 yards. Nope, where are my numbers at? I just lost them. That was the first half. I'll get that in just a minute. Let's move on here. I don't even think, where did I add up my, there we go, 63 yards on the ground tonight. Now, a lot of that was cut down for some negative yardage that we had in the backfield. But at the same time, still 63 yards. You're not going to hang your hat on those numbers compared to last week where we were pushing 300, whatever it was. But again, 33 for Armendariz and 31 for Baeza, the two leaders in the game.
And they did enough on the ground to keep them honest. Roswell was stacking the box. They had 7, sometimes 8 men in the box, and they were trying to take that away from us, which forced us to have to throw the ball. That's what we did. We did well.
Yeah, we only carried it 19 times and 63 total yards on the ground, so finally get those numbers out of my mouth there. In the passing department, leader in the numbers, triple digits so far tonight, Van Landingham, 4 catches for 131 yards, a couple of touchdowns, all double-digit catches too, 15, 28, 29, and 59. The 2 TDs were 29 and 59, and again, there's a guy with an injured hand.
Yeah, that's the thing is that passing game, you had Caden Trevino the first game, and then you had Hawkes the second game, and now you have Van Landingham a third game. Who are you going to guard? I mean, you can't double-team any one of them without the other one burning you.
Yeah, definitely some big numbers there. And then Trevino, 7 for 91 tonight. He had a couple double-digit catches, 33, 15, and then his touchdown in the second half for 21.
Yeah, did a great job. Solid effort all around.
Hawkes, I had big numbers last week, not as big this week, but scored a 62-yard touchdown reception, 5 catches for 76 yards in this game.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a receiver and you tell me I'm going to catch it 5 times for 76, I'd take it every week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely a lot of targets, as we mentioned, throughout this game. And total Argot throwing tonight, 17 of 28 for 298 yards unofficially, just shy of the 300 mark to get it to 361 in total yards tonight.
Yep, good night, especially with the turnovers. A lot of times we had a short field and didn't have far to go.
Hobbs ending up with 10 first downs, and most of those coming in the first half, but, of course, with the clock running and things of that nature in the second half, Roswell kind of moving the ball a little bit more. Didn't get as many as first downs as we saw in the first half, but still a pretty decent job there. Penalties weren't much of an issue for the Eagles in this one. They had a total of 7 for 55 yards and well behind what Roswell had. Eagles only gave up 1 turnover, a fumble, and punted once in this game.
Yeah, and you'll just take that. That's just awesome offense. Great job, Coach Stevens and the offensive staff. Good game plan, worked well.
Eagles winning 51-7 to go 3-0. Roswell drops to 2-1. And Coach, we've been tracking the Lovington game for much of this one, and of course, when they were down double digits to Santa Teresa, how did that one end up?
Well, they were just starting the fourth in this last text that I just got from Tiff back at the station, and they were trailing Santa Teresa 38-23. So they've kind of climbed back into the game a little bit. They're still down 2 touchdowns.
Of course, we saw that they lost to Roswell to start the season, a pretty big win for the Coyotes in that one, with 69-29, a 40-point victory. But a game that Lovington still managed 323 yards. Of course, that Cardenas kid, Ondalis Cardenas, the sophomore for Lovington, 21 carries for 183 yards. So he did do some good running there for the Wildcats over Roswell, who's a bigger division team.
Yeah, and the thing that did them in was Lovington turned the ball over quite a bit against Roswell.
Yeah, and then the Wildcats, of course, had a tough one last week against Seminole, but I would venture to say that's a pretty tough schedule to get the season started.
Denver City.
No, it was Seminole.
Ah.
It was on the blue turf. It was Seminole. I'm right about that one.
Okay.
You got $20 on it right now, Coach.
Yeah,
because we don't hardly anybody gets to play Seminole. It seems like we haven't had any really agreements across the border there. But they did lose to Seminole there on the blue turf, which is going to mean that. This game coming up, kind of an arch rival contest. There's been some strings of years where Lovington's dominated, the Hobbs Eagles have dominated. How do you feel about that, with that situation?
I think that last year Lovington had a good squad and a good year, and we were still very good against them. I think that just the level differences is huge. I mean, when you go up classifications, it's big, and in this case, I think that's just going to be even more so.
Last year, Hobbs winning the ball game 46-0, a shutout victory. But again, this one's on the road trip, but that's not much of a road trip. 20 miles to Lovington?
Yeah, that's not a road trip, and it's a place you're familiar with because you played against them since you were little kids, and you know that field, you know that town, you know the players, they're friends, they're people you've hung out with. Yeah, that's why it's a rivalry game.
Of course, Hobbs getting the win here tonight. Lovington lost their game with Santa Teresa, or actually it's in the fourth, you said, right? They were down by, 16 the last time?
Yeah, they just got an update from Tiff. I mean, just the moment you said Lovington, Santa Teresa 44, Lovington 23.
Tatum loses on the road tonight in Lordsburg. We had Jal with the big win last night. I think it was 46-0 over the Hobbs JV. And of course, Eunice, I think when they played Ropesville outside of Lubbock, that's kind of a different game for them on their schedule.
Yeah. And you said they played who?
Ropesville, that team right outside of Lubbock.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And Ropesville is actually a growing town. It's they used to be in my district when I coached in Lasbuddy, and I'm very familiar with them. And very, very, very athletic town. They always have some ponies.
Well, 51-7 the finals. They continue to turn the lights out here at the Wool Bowl. So the Eagles pick up the road victory, their first of the season, going to 3-0. Next week, the Lee County rival matchup at the Wildcat Stadium on the blue turf. Hobbs versus Lovington. Should be a good one. 6:45 pregame, kickoff at 7. You can catch that action here on Cool 95.7 The Radio, HobbsAmerica.com, and on YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page. We also like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle football broadcasts throughout the season: Lee County State Bank, TDS Telecom, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway Grocery, First American Bank of Hobbs, Lasco Construction, Eunice Pump and Supply, NMR Pipeline, Rent-A-Center, and Devon Energy. Coach, any final words from you as we leave the Wool Bowl?
I really look forward to next week because rivalry games are what it's all about, and it's going to be a fun one.
Of course, we'd like to thank your son for helping us out tonight on the cameras.
Branson Coltrane helping out with the camera.
Tiffany Stuber back at the station, keeping us updated on the scores and all the backtrack on the technology. Thank you again for joining us on Hobbs Eagle Football. We'll see you next Friday night on this No Mark Broadcasting Station.
You're clear.
Thanks a lot, Tip.